How Bizarre is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, we suggest you turn this wacky shit straight off.
Hoi hoi.
Hello there,
Man,
the
how's it
angel from my nightmare.
going? I thought that was sassy at first, and I kind of want to hear that version now. Hello there.
Hello there. Oh, you couldn't get too far with that. I'm trying to do the other dude's voice. Where are you? I think I would go permanently voiceless if I tried that with Sassy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, fuck indeed, huh? Here we are.
And, it has been a month. So, gosh, nobody have anything exciting going on lately? Been pretty quiet?
It seems like it's pretty quiet. Not only quiet in our lives, but quiet on the earth abroad. It just seems like there's not a lot going on. Lyle, you there?
What's up, Suze?
Wow,
Hey,
now isn't that
buddy.
a voice for sore ears?
Yeah.
Man, it's good to hear your voice, sir, for sure.
Still deep and sexy.
Still deep and sexy and existing.
Most importantly, huh?
You know, there's a huge chunk of this whole month where I was just like, God, I can't wait to get back to just pouring me a cool one, sitting down with my boys, hearing Lyle's
Amen.
voice, the simple things that we took for granted for so long, and here we are, and I'm almost speechless. So we don't really have a full show structured. I got some stuff I want to talk about, and Christopher has a championship round of weird trips, so we will keep things moving along, but the bulk of the beginning here is definitely going to be getting us caught up on Lyle's story,
Adventure.
Odyssey. Nothing quite sums it up.
No break from any good luck.
Oh my God.
God damn, dude.
Well, when we last spoke, this is how long it's been. It was since we recorded.
1 month.
When we last spoke, Lyle had just said that, "Fuck, dude, I got sick. Like I got a cold."
We were all like, oh,
And we're
no.
like, "Oh shit!" You didn't know it was COVID at that point. I don't remember if
No,
you'd
not at all.
been tested, but it
in
seems like
fact,
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
fact, I think when you dropped off that medicine for me, threw it on my porch,
Uh-huh.
I think I was positive then because the next day I was positive. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's take it back because it was a couple of days after that, and you were getting sick, and we were all chatting. You know, things were normal, but you'd been sick for a few days, and then it seemed like things were getting pretty gnarly. But you were having like intestinal shit more than like typical head cold and lung cold stuff. Lung cold.
oh yeah, well yeah, I did have.
I was going to say, I got some texts about shit.
Yeah, it wasn't
some
the-
shitty
Yeah.
texts.
Now, I'm talking like at the very first
Didn't
few
need
days.
diuretics. I needed something else. I need more fiber in my diet. But yeah, no, I went strictly fucking shit my fucking brains out.
Yeah.
I mean, liquid-wise, all diarrhea. So I mean, that's enough to wipe you out. When you go through dialysis, they suck all that water out of you anyway. But so like if you get dehydrated just from that, I mean, that could really fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Without
Not
being
having
sick.
enough fluids.
Right.
Well, yeah, in general.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
why. That's when we started. That's when I started to worry for sure.
And that's when I called you to try to bring me some medicine to stop it. And it worked.
I drove down there and I'm like, you know, I'm wearing my N95 because at this point, you know, it's COVID, and I felt like such an asshole that I just like
You were the
walked.
frisbee toss.
I did. I was down on the ground, and you know, Lyle's got like this big sort of down south, really, porch, not like a wraparound, but it's close. It's something like that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
kind of porch you just want to sit and sip whiskey and play guitar and overlook the city. So I'm down
COVID.
4 or 5 steps, and I'm not even to the steps.
He's not like 10 feet from me.
Yeah,
bro.
it's probably a good 12, 15 Mississippi away, and it's just like I'm masked and I'm outside in a sunny day. It's cold, but it's sunny. I just tossed it. Like I felt so bad because he had to bend over and pick it up off the fucking floor. But that's how that exchange happened. And
I got delivered.
I was like, please don't let that be the last time I see Lyle. Where I'm
Well,
just
good
like,
luck.
here you go, bro. Well, gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go burn my clothes.
So, I mean, we could go down to how it went down. I went to dialysis because they told me, they said, if you come early, like at 3 o'clock, we could maybe get you on my normal dialysis at 4. And I'm like, shit, yeah, that's what I want.
Well, you
And
forgot to mention though, real quick. You skipped a day. You skipped a day of dialysis because you were too
no, I don't
sick.
think I did. I think I made it. It's the day that I wanted to go is what the day
Oh,
I
okay,
got rushed to the hospital, so I skipped it. So there was really no skipping it because I still had dialysis in the hospital.
gotcha.
Um, so um, so I show up and my nurse Erin, which is a huge sweetheart, she was like, "You really need to go get checked out. It's only 1 o'clock." I was like, "What? Really? Yeah, I'm 2 hours early."
You lost time.
Dude, I'm like, okay, I'll go to the East Wenatchee Clinic, the walking clinic. That's where my primary is, and we'll button it up from there. And so I drive myself to the clinic, and I'm in the parking lot, and I was sitting there for about 10 minutes, and I went to swivel out of my truck seat. And I got a Ford F-150. It's kind of lifted a little bit, and I went to swivel out and go touch the ground. It's no big deal. Done it a million times. And my fucking legs collapsed, and I bounced my fucking head off the asphalt.
What?
And
What was causing this?
I couldn't get up. I had no oxygen in my
Oh my
system
God, dude!
at all. Yeah, I had pneumonia, apparently.
Jesus, man.
Well, this is the fuck part, and I think some of those good old friends you've had for a long time are like guardian angels. But I'm sitting there, laying there, and I hear these footsteps, clunk, 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 clunk. And they, dude, you okay? And it's a buddy of mine I've known for over 30 years. I went to school with him, forever, and we're still friends. And I'm like, where the fuck did you come from? He goes, dude, I was parked like 3 fucking rows up, and I saw you take a header. And I was like, fuck, dude.
That's so crazy.
Can you get me up? He's a big dude. I mean, he's not super big, but he's like 5'9", and he's pretty stout. And I figured he could pick me up at least to put me in the seat. He couldn't even pick me up, and I tried to help him up. I tried grabbing shit like my fucking.
Did you just not have any strength? Like you couldn't feel?
No,
you couldn't.
Lack of oxygen, your muscles completely shut down.
Okay.
Completely shut down because they don't have any oxygen to run to your muscles. Sorry, I got a mask off talking to you guys. So anyway, they ended up a bypasser came by and said, "Hey, you guys need any help?" And he was like, "Yeah, we need help. Would you go inside and get a doctor and whatnot?" And as soon as they called the doctor outside, they must have called an ambulance, or they were pretty close to the ambulance. I think it's down the street, so they just kind of showed up. And the doctor said, "Hey, man, you got fucking pneumonia, really bad." And, I already knew I had COVID because they gave me a test at the dialysis. That's why I was doing dialysis at night at like 4 o'clock to whatever.
Yeah.
That I showed up late for. So from there, I mean, it was pretty much just a straight shot to the fucking, this wasn't the ER, it was ICU. And I stayed in the ICU for a week, and it was hell. I'm not going to lie. It was hell. It's like every 2-3 hours. John Mark's here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, every 2 hours or so, the nurses would come in there and they would take what they tried to do was because I'm limited to what they could stab me. My right arm's completely, they can't touch it. It's owned by dialysis. You touch it, you're going to get in trouble. So
property of dialysis, bitch.
It really is. It should have a tattoo on it that says, but my left arm, they can completely fuck with. So what they did was put an IV in it and some places to stab me and fucking pull blood and all this other shit. But when they would come in, so like here's an instance, they would come in at 10 o'clock, like at night, take my vitals. It's your heart rate, your temperature, and your oxygen levels. And but they would sit there at the computer in the room with the light on, fucking typing all this shit in. And it took them like a half hour. And you're trying to sleep, you're sick. I was fucked. This is the ICU. This isn't the like go to recovery. This is you're fucking sick.
Yeah.
And it was every 2 hours. If it wasn't that, they were pulling fucking blood out of me. And they hit me at least 14 times in my hand because they couldn't really find a good veins in my arm, or they didn't want to explore it.
Right.
They just saw the big veins in my hands and said, "Oh, there we go. I'll pluck that motherfucker." And so they just leached me dry. And so, but also when I was in there in the ICU, they put in what they call a trialysis. And what a trialysis
You're
is
dating two people at once, right?
no, it's worse.
2 Alice's? Not
It's a
enough.
port.
Gonna need me that third Alice.
No, it's a port that has 3 lines to it and 3 holes to it, which left 3 holes in my neck.
Oh my God, dude.
And that's where they were doing dialysis for a little while. Not everybody used it. Some of them used my fist a little bit. When they did, they bruised my entire fucking arm up.
Damn,
It was
dude.
bad. It was nasty, bad bruise. So they started just using the trialysis in my neck to do dialysis, and they were starting to take blood out of it. Half the nurses there didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They were like,
God, man.
which one of these 3 do we use? You know, I'm like, oh my God, are you go get
You never want to hear your nurse or doctor saying shit like, how do we do this?
sketchy as
You didn't
fuck.
tell me.
I
Can
think
you
they're
Google
trying-
this?
Yeah, that's what they're looking up in the computer.
Well, that's what I was scared of. So anyway, they were taking like like a typical syringe, bigger, fatter kind of syringe that you would screw the tip on. There's no needle to it. They would take one of those and they'd leach out 3 of them for blood work. But I'm telling you this, it was like a regiment. It was
Yeah.
like 10 o'clock, midnight, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
That probably explains why I could never really get a hold of you, or I was calling.
Yeah,
and,
I couldn't even reach my phone. It was across the room.
Well, see that, just to pause where you're at real quick, going back, the reason that I knew something was wrong is because you had stopped reading my text messages, and the way I understood it is that you had missed a day of dialysis, or you were planning on missing a day, and I was concerned about that. And then all of a sudden you stopped reading the text messages, and I'm like, what's going on here? I actually I drove down to your house and knocked on the door, and no one,
They didn't shit.
no one answered.
They wouldn't shit. No, they were never at the hospital. My brother.
Yeah, well, no one answered,
Jesus,
and then
man.
so I called.
I kind of prefer it that way because I don't want people in my room. One, and I think he might have been the one to give it to me. To be honest,
Well,
it's the rationality of it. Where it comes down to is either I got it in dialysis for the
Yeah.
guy sitting next to me that was told to go home.
Yeah, 'cause
which
he
would
was
make
sick,
sense
right?
'cause he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to teach my brother how to use my Traeger, and I'm pretty sure he coughed in my face once, and he's been
Oh,
sick ever
son of a
since.
bitch.
And the cocksucker won't get fucking tested. It's
a
probably
bitch.
contagious. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, what do you do?
Well, I finally got a hold of your mom, which your parents have the same phone number
Yeah,
that they had when they're.
it's just
Did you just like memory it and try to just dial the old ones?
No, I finally found it online, and I'm like,
Okay.
it's the same fucking number.
funny.
It came back to me when I saw it. It wouldn't have been ever like just something I could pull out of a drawer, but I knew it immediately when I saw it. Dialed it 100 times. But
That's great.
then your mom said that you had gone to the ER the night before. This was the next morning, and I went back down to your house, and then that's when she was like, you went in because you were having trouble breathing. I'm like, fuck. But then your truck was there, so I was super confused. I was like, well, he must have taken an ambulance or something. But you later told me that I guess Mike drove it back.
Yeah, he must have got a hold of his wife to drive his truck back, and then drove my truck back. But the other thing that was sketchy, and I want to say sketchy because if you go into the timeline, when I went to dialysis the first time and Aaron told me to go get you checked out, I was in the middle of doing laundry. And here's the weirdest thing. I'm anal. I mean, so fucking anal on when I get my clothes out of the dryer. First thing I do is fold them and I put them away. Just like when I cook and I wash my dishes as I cook, and then I'm done, right? And I'm clean. Everything's done. I don't have to worry about shit. When I came, and it's kind of like a flash forward, but it kind of proves where my headspace was. When I came home, I unlocked my door and opened it up. There was fucking clothes just spread about. I mean, literally, like some on my bed, some on my chair, some on my floor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought somebody broke in, or at least somebody snuck in there and fucking was trying to, rob me.
Yeah.
But that's my headspace. That's how much.
Yeah, you were
fucking
in some sort of
no
state, some sort of
I
fit.
was. I think
It's crazy.
I don't know. It was before I hit my head, so.
It's crazy that you drove.
Well, I mean, I could drive. I mean, I used to drive fucking completely
You
intoxicated.
couldn't walk 10 minutes later, so Yeah. Of
Yeah,
course,
I'm a good
you
driver.
didn't know that that's where you were heading, but
I didn't. I had no clue. In fact, I didn't even know it until I got home. So I mean, this is like a flash forward into the future that I noticed all this shit was going on.
yeah.
And it's been hell trying to clean it up, but I did get it all cleaned up.
Yeah.
And I was sick, like I said, I had that whole the fit with the stomach problems and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that followed me to the hospital, unfortunately. But we won't talk about that.
Well, the only thing that the nurses were able to tell me when I finally found out that you were in the ICU, because I wasn't family, was essentially that you weren't able to. At one point, they said that you weren't able to have phone calls, and I'm like, "Fuck, he got intubated." But then they were able to confirm that you weren't intubated, and that was a sigh of relief. From then on until you were texting me, and even after you started texting me, because that would come and go, my celebration for the day was any confirmation that you were just still alive.
Yeah.
That's all I could get.
I didn't have a charger for my phone. So I had a cord for it, but I didn't have a wall mount where you could plug a USB in. So
I can't tell you how
Damn,
shocked
man.
I was when after 4 days of hearing nothing, you just fucking called.
Yeah.
I saw you, and my phone's still busted. I had to dig out my fucking headphones so I could talk. I was like, "Where are they? Where are they? God damn it!" Yeah,
Wait, your phone's busted?
yeah. I think I talked about I was trying to clean out the fucking lint in the speakers, but I was doing it with a thumbtack. I don't do that at home, kids. I popped out the microphone, but the iPhone has a couple of mics, so it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But I can still talk if I have, like the iPod phone headphones in because it's got a mic. But anyway, I got to find it first.
He's just scrambling, like he's finally calling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so
It was freaking out.
In the ICU, what they had to do is do the dialysis in my room. They wouldn't wheel me like downstairs to the big dialysis room. That didn't happen till later, like quite a bit later. So I'd have to do the dialysis in my room, and it sucked. They used my arm a couple times, and one of the nurses kind of just bruised the shit out of it, and they kind of quit using it.
Papa?
They just started using my neck, the trialysis
Mm-hmm.
is what they call it. It's smaller than the one I had when I initially had my cancer removed. When I had my cancer removed, they put in one. It was a tour. It had two spouts on, a red one and a blue one. But this fucker literally went into my heart.
Mm.
Had to cut off a little
Twin
section.
Alice.
A dual?
Dual
Dualysis? I don't know.
Dualis. Well, that's
Maybe
probably
they
what
call
was,
it like
actually.
that. But and Ron's right. I literally came inches from having to be inhalated, living on a breathing machine.
Dude,
Dude, you don't
it's
even
terrifying.
know. It was
It's so scary. We were all fucking
They came
terrified,
and
dude.
said, "Listen, do you wish to be on this? Because you don't have to be, but we
They said that to you?
strongly recommend you."
Yeah.
They said that to you?
Yeah, because I could have denied it, died in bed. They wouldn't care. It's my wishes. It's my, it'd be a death wish. And I didn't think of that at the time. I've had that shit done before, like when I had surgeries, when I had my kidney and I had my throat surgery done, and it was the most horrible thing in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And it's because you wake up and you're claustrophobic and you're choking on it.
Yeah, it's down your
The
fucking.
first thing you do. I know for a fact when I had my throat surgery, they took out both my tonsils and my uvula, and they stitched it all up. And the first thing you do is you grab for it. And I was halfway asleep, halfway drugged, and the first thing I did is I grabbed that fucker and I ripped it out. And when it ripped it out, I ripped all my stitches out, and I was still out, mind you. I mean, I was half.
That was when we were in fucking high school, isn't it?
It was a little bit after high school. But I was laying there and I was fucking drowning in my own blood, and they came rushing in and they rushed me back to surgery, and luckily we were able to resuture everything, and they said, "Don't ever fucking touch this thing." Yeah.
It happens a lot. That happened to two people that I know. My first wife's dad, when he was brain dead by the time that he was, after his stroke or whatever he had, and he never came back. But at one point he woke up in the middle of the night and yanked out his breathing tube, because that's what you do. It's like
it's what
it's
you do.
like human. It's like an instinct thing. Like, get this fucking thing out of my breathing way. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, I didn't want to do that, and so I told him, no, I don't want to be inlaid. I've been done. It's been done before. Blah blah blah. I don't want it. And she just looked at me like I was fucking crazy, and said, "Well, it's your decision, And she came back the next day and asked me again. Said, "Do you realize that if we don't, you're gonna just lay there and die, right?" And I was like, she was like, "Do you want that?" And I like, no, I don't.
Jesus.
Please put me on an ventilator.
That's like the nightmare. That's the nightmare of COVID, is someone coming in and telling you, if you don't get intubated and go night-night for a while, you're going to die.
This is literally the turning point. This was the day before. So if I wouldn't have turned around the way I did, they would have did it. It was that. Yeah. So, but luckily I turned that cheek and fucking went the other way. And
I live. I choose live.
I didn't even have a bowel movement in there until 2 weeks that I was.
You were telling me about that yesterday.
Holy shit, literally.
Yeah. Indeed. It was righteous.
They talk about called shitting bricks. Do it in the come
Just go down.
Donk, donk, like concrete. But I don't want to gross you guys out, but I mean, that's what,
it's all part of the tale.
I didn't even barely pee. They did a CAT scan on my lungs and you could see the fluid in there and a couple black spots in my lungs. I still got a gnarly cough. I'm not on my oxygen right now. We're just chit chatting and I'm trying to stay cool.
Yeah, we should maybe make it an abridged sum up so you can get back on your tubes.
Well, no, I'm fine. The thing is that they give you cannules. You know what those are? It's like a tube, and then they have two little prongs, and you stick them up your nose, and you wrap them around your ears. I was on those for quite a while, and they fucked me up. The back of my ears are raw. My nose was bleeding.
Ouch.
Both sides. I couldn't ever get it to stop, and then when it did, it was just fucking nasty. So I kind of, while I was here, they gave me everything in the room. They said, everything in this room you could have. I was like, what about my old mask? Yeah, take it. Anything, everything in this room you could have. It's
TV.
Yours. I almost said that. I just took basically the medical shit that they had, and I stole a bunch of extra line.
Yeah.
Tube line. That way I could. Right now, as it is, I got enough leash. I call it my leash. Because I usually step on it and fucking yank my head back. But it goes to the front porch where I could sit down on that love seat thing out there.
Yeah,
I could make it that far that way. But I don't know about the other way. But we keep all our pop and soda and shit on the back porch, and it's long enough to reach that. And that's ascending to the kitchen so I could cook and do all my stuff, and I could obviously get to my bathroom. It's right the room next to me, so that's not too bad. But back to the story, I guess. Still stuck in ICU. They're still doing dialysis in my room. I've been bedridden for at least a week by now, and I'm just getting weaker every day. They say every day you are in a bed, it takes 3 days to build your muscles back up to where they were before you were laying down in bed for that first day. And so I was there for obviously 3 weeks. And the second week, they brought me back up top, to the recovery. And they were doing dialysis with me, but they were at least dragging me downstairs in the bed and, doing that. The thing about the whole stay was, even when I was in the ICU, I did a 12-day binge of dialysis. And people don't know, you're really supposed to go every other day, because the first day will leach you completely dry. You will be weak as fuck, and you could be sick. It's a horrible feeling. So usually they give you a day off the next day for your body to absorb fluids and stuff like that and get back to normal and get the blood where it's supposed to be, and then they hit you again, bam, and it's a cycle. That's how it goes. I had a 12-day regimen of just being leached and sucked on, and I literally lost 40 pounds.
That's insane.
That's fucking crazy.
The first day they did dialysis on me was a wicked little bitch, and she fucking took 16 kilos off me. Now, that's the equivalent, I think, 4 pounds per kilo. I think it is. So,
4 pounds per kilo, and they took 16?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, they took
too
16.
much of a math. We were in the same math class, so
I know.
I can't call you on it, and you can't call yourself on it.
That's where we used to draw our master of puppets.
we were drawing stuff and playing
Master of
karateka.
puppets? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was, it was like math class. It was basically an art class.
Yeah. Your sister was in one of those math classes with us.
I think so.
Who, by the way, was letting me. She's the one that let me know that it was the night before, the night that they were thinking that they're probably going to intubate you, and they were like, well, it's 50-50 to see whether he gets through the night, but without having to do that. And then it wasn't long after that is when you called me, and that's why I was shitting a brick. I was like, how the fuck did
My charger.
all of a sudden? And then you started texting us like almost regularly for a bit there, and it was like,
Keep you informed.
yeah. Well,
Nice. It was good to
that
hear.
was really encouraging.
I'm trying to remember where we're at in the
They
story.
you were doing
Oh, yeah.
dialysis every day.
Yeah, for 12 days. And that was a hell of a regimen. It fucked me up good. And so once they stopped, this is 2 weeks, mind you. This is like the tail end of the third week.
Mm-hmm.
I had to relearn how to walk. I couldn't.
my God,
I
dude.
couldn't stand up. So I would do. One day I would stand up and hold on to a crutch bar, you know, those little walkers, and I would stand up and sit down. Stand up, sit down. And then like 2 or 3 days later, you were ready to try to start walking? I was like, I'll give it a try. I'm not going to fucking lay in this bed all, forever. Because like I said, 1 day is 3 days. And we would walk across the room to the window, it shows an all one inch. It's a nice view. And I would sit down on a chair and then would stand up and walk back to the bed. The thing is like, I was getting oxygen because I had the cannules, but as soon as I stood up, my blood pressure, or my oxygen blood pressure, this is not your blood pressure, this is your oxygen blood pressure, the oxygen that feeds your muscles, I would be at 90, I don't know, 90s, maybe the mid 80s, sitting down, as soon as I stood up, they would just tank, just bleh, done. They were down in the 70s. And then once I sat down and got my breath, it would get back up to the 90s and 80s. So that was a big concern, because I'm literally walking only like 10 feet across the fucking room. And I would go back to the bed and, lay down, and all that blood oxygen level came right back up. The next day, might have a day off or something like that. But then we'd do 2 trips across the room, until we're doing 5 trips across the room. So, I mean, but without any kind of support, I was walking on my own. I didn't have like a crutch or anything, or one of those creepers, old people have those creepers.
Yeah, walker.
Yeah, walker. So day by day, I got a little stronger. And when I got home, I definitely got a lot stronger. But like, I was still in the, in recovery. The thing, I don't know if we're at the tail end of this or not. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, there were some other details and battles along the way, but then shit got crazy again after you got home.
Okay. So the shit got crazy, and my heart went back into A-flutter.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I had heart surgery, the double heart?
Yeah, for the AFib. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it went right back.
COVID undid your procedure.
COVID brought right back. It was A-flutter, not A-fib, though. It was just called A-flutter,
Yeah.
which is still an irregular heartbeat. And so I was getting ready to be released. I was stoked. They'll only release you if you could have your oxygen level. They have oxygen, you're wearing it, and they got, like, I guess you go by pounds, and if you could withstand 3 pounds, because that's all they could really send you home by resting. If you could withstand that and you still have a high oxygen level, they'll let you go home. And I was in that realm, and all of a sudden I get this A-flutter. So they had to keep me over and try to bring it all down with drugs and intravenous fucking drugs. And they finally got it to go down after 2 days. And I'm like, okay, fuck, let's go home. I want to go home. I got bills to pay. It's at the end of the month, man. All these bills are going to be doubled by fucking next month. And so I'm laying there, and then they fucking, okay, this is your day home. We're going to give you dialysis at 8 o'clock in the morning. And this is Sunday night, by the way. we're going to give you dialysis in the morning at 8 o'clock. That's what you're scheduled for. You to give you enough time to eat. It's like 3.5 hours of dialysis, and then we'll take that, trialysis out of your neck, and paperwork's already done. You'll be registered and get the hell out of here. I was like, fuck yes. You can't fucking bring me down, man. I was on cloud fucking 9.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock comes, 9 o'clock comes,
Oh God.
10 o'clock comes.
Hello.
You see what
Hello.
I'm getting? See what I'm getting? 2 o'clock comes. 3 o'clock comes. And I think it was like 5 o'clock they finally fucking went to get me. And they said, hey, we're fucking really sorry, but we're not going to let you go home. We got nobody to take your trialysis out. Everybody's at home.
Like womp womp,
You're
motherfucker.
gonna have to spend another night.
No.
Fucking let me jump out of this 4-story. I don't give no fucks no more.
Yeah.
That's how the tail end of it went. And I think Monday when they released me, I still didn't get home till like 2 o'clock.
Oh my God.
And I still had to run around and get like medical need things. I needed an oxygen reader when I just went to Walgreens, and I needed a cuff for reading my blood pressure. And then I think I went to Burger King because I
attaboy.
raising fucking
Earn yourself a Whopper, son.
Shit. Oh, that Big King,
Get
dude.
2.
That Big King. I'll take 2.
Oh, they brought the Big Kings back?
Yes, on the 2 for $5, man.
Oh
And they're
my
Gotta
God.
go.
That was my joint.
They're killer.
That's
I love
with that Big Mac's type sauce. Oh fuck
Mhm.
yeah! Big Kings produce the most delicious burps.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
I know it's gross, but
Go
it's
get
like, oh, Big King.
God, you're just wild.
They're
I was
potent,
craving
man.
it because I was watching a channel, and like every other fucking channel break, they were playing that Big King commercial.
Mm.
It's just like stuck in your brain.
He's like, as soon as I
do
get
what
out
they
of,
think.
I swear to God,
There's
first
two
thing I'm gonna
things
do.
I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Am I gonna jack off or get?
Yep. Me and Rod are same brain.
It's just like, well, I kept thinking about that. It's like, how quick is he gonna be like, well, I'm finally alone. Zip.
Yeah, no shit.
Talk about shit in a brick.
So when I got home, most of my luckily like bowel movements and stuff came back normal and started to pee a little bit, but unfortunately I got a tract infection when I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, owie. That suck.
It doesn't hurt when I pee. I just can't pee. It just dribbles out.
Drip,
Hey,
drip, drip.
like you have to pee real bad, and it gets to the tip, and then it just goes.
Yeah, it sucks.
So I went and got antibiotics for that the other day, and it's a common thing to do after surgeries. I've had it done at every surgery I've ever had. I've gotten one. It sucks.
Really?
Yeah, because I only have one
Not-
kidney. I can only pee so much.
Oh, that's right. I didn't.
And
think
you're
about
nowhere
that.
near like a regular peeing schedule in that type of lifestyle
Well, the
too.
thing-
It fucks you all up.
Oh man, I tried peeing in that bottle, and I couldn't sit on the side of the bed and wing my thing.
Yeah.
Out my drawers to make it flow. There's no fucking flow. I had to stand up, hope nobody came in or anybody was looking through the blind window, and try to fucking get a little out. But for me, that's for you guys, I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, shit happens. You'll figure it out because your kidneys will flush all that shit out.
Yeah.
For me, I only got one kidney and it doesn't really work, and so like all the fecal matter, all the urine and stuff, it's all contaminated. And if it stays in your body too long, it becomes toxic. And my body will absorb all those toxins. And then that's when you get really fucked because it's in your blood. And when they try to clean your blood, they're like, dude, you got fucking, your phosphorus is out the fucking roof. Your phosphorus and your soul, all the bad stuff you're not supposed to have. So,
Fuck you just say about my phosphorus.
and that's why I told them. I
Fighting
said, hey,
diagnoses.
this is exactly what it is. I mean, I could tell you, this is it. It's no big deal. As soon as I start flowing, and I've been, it's been clearing out really well.
That's good.
But as soon as I got home, it's like my strength came back a bit. I can't really walk down and check the mail. I mean, I can, but it's pretty taxing on me. I can't get upstairs.
Yeah.
I use my oxygen tank because I'll still use it. It only lasts like an hour and a half. But I could use it as a crutch. It's got like 2 little stoppers in the front. And I could use it as a crutch. You get downstairs fairly easy, but I have to pick it up or use it as a crutch going upstairs. And it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still that way. When I get dropped off, my dad's taking me to dialysis recently because they took my keys away.
Yeah.
And
I felt good when you told me that. I ain't gonna lie.
the fact is, I could probably drive and be fine. I'm gonna talk to my doctor Monday about getting my keys back.
Yeah.
But they want to talk about my neuropathy. The 12 days of dialysis, we'll just call it like that. The 12 days of hell, dialysis. They fucked my feet up really bad because your feet are the farthest thing from your heart. So when they're doing dialysis, they're sucking blood out of your arm, which is getting sucked out of your heart, but it also draws all the other blood from your extremities. And it keeps the core full, right? So what happens is that your toes and your feet and your ankles get deprived of blood. You know, you get it back, and it will come back. You know, the next day, it'll find its way back down. But for the time that it doesn't have it, it's like pins and needles. It feels like somebody's actually literally taking like an ice pick and stabbing you in the feet. And I got it really bad, really, really bad, enough to where I couldn't sleep bad. Just hurt so fucking bad. And they gave me something for it, but it didn't. It kind of worked for a little bit, but it was the tail end of the 3 weeks. So it was like, whatever, you know, just get me out of here. And yeah, not much to say, but the night nurses are bitches.
Well, there's a little more to say for when you got home. It wasn't exactly the most relaxing and peaceful homecoming.
Okay, so like every time I leave town or away, something bad happens. I was right above bowling fields. I was dating this chick, and I think Renton it was.
Bowling field, no.
And we're banging. Oh, she was, I don't know what the fuck it was with her. I mean, she was hot. I mean, she was, but short. Little,
crazy scale?
Short little, you know, really, she wasn't super skinny, but she was fit, you know, and like to ride the stallion, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Wow.
She was the first one I ever had sex with on the top of a fucking washing machine with shoes in it. I put my
Just
boots,
the first, huh?
With shoes in it.
well, my boots, my boots, shoes. Exactly, getting that rocking.
I guess it's more like that.
Dude,
yeah.
when I first showed up and pulled into her driveway. I've never been here before, you know, and I, you know, I grabbed my bag and I walk up to the door and I knock on the door and she's standing there in a robe and fucking just this black, nasty fucking lingerie. We didn't even make it throughout the kitchen. I fucked her right on the kitchen sink.
And boy,
she was hot.
Gonna wash some of that dirty out of you. I'm sorry, I'm taking over the fantasy here.
Well, you know what scared me?
There.
I'll tell you what scared the shit out of me is like I didn't realize.
Take you on the kitchen counter next time, Ron. Be careful.
Well, what scared me is like she was divorced, but like not fully. The guy that she was married to was living.
Ended up in a closet.
No, well.
How come all the pictures are upside down?
Well, I was sitting there, and it had to have been his chair because you know it's kind of like a man chair, and you know I dropped trout. She's giving me head, right? And blah, 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 you know, my God, so bad. Blah, blah.
Can you do that with the sound effect for me, Lyle?
You want to record that for a ringtone?
No, give me that
Triple
with the yeah.
Oh God, it's been so long.
So anyway, we're in an open downstairs basement, right? And all the windows are open. And I noticed there's a travel trailer out in the back, and I didn't put two and two together until I fucking busted in her mouth. But that dude was probably in that fucking trailer.
Oh, dear.
She said her parents or her mom or whatever and her kids went to the coast it was the 4th of July weekend. They went to the coast for the 4th of July and he went with them. I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, as long as he's not here, I don't want trouble. And I would almost bet money that fucker was in that camper fucking jerking it with the fucking binoculars.
Yeah, a little
interesting dynamic.
hot wife stitch.
Yeah,
All right.
Like
well, I met her in other places. We used to meet up in like for the weekend, and she was a psycho too, though. But like, anyway, we're getting way the fuck off track. So
it's a nice detour, though.
We're getting on track now, yeah.
So when I came back,
Palate cleanser, we'll call it.
we got a lot of glass in this house, right? Just in general, like the windows have glass in it, the doors have glass in it, the back door has glass in it. And I come home, and the fucking glass out of the back windows busted out. I go, what the fuck happened? He goes, oh, I had a little bit of a get together, and fucking somebody opened up the front door, and the back door was open, and the suction shut, it slammed it shut, and broke the glass. I'm like, God damn it, shit I have to fix.
Mm-hmm.
And, so anyway, this thing happened. We've been dealing with, I guess you'd call them rats, because they're not mice. They can't be. They're too big. They've been eating underneath the sink, the garbage disposal, the flex tubing.
God. Gross.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what
that's
happens is you try to wash your dishes in the dishwasher, and all the gunk it can't get to the garbage disposal, so it just dumps out into the sink. And apparently it was dumping into the downstairs bedroom down there because nobody's in it, and then it just seeped down through the seams and was running down through there. And we're like, we had to replace it like 2 or 3 times until we just decked this place out with rat shit, poison and stuff.
I hear the best way to get rid of them.
We were killing them. We did not want them. They need to die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not for a rat. I'm not gonna fucking care.
No.
They're not gerbils. They're not fucking little bunny rabbits.
Trust me.
They're fucking rats. So, well, there's a Thai place right in front of her house that moved in, I want to say a year ago, and ever since then, they're been living out of their garbage and trying to find their way in.
Yeah, once they set up shop, it was the chickens that brought them to my house. Although I don't see them anymore. I don't know where they went.
So anyway, the floor joist that runs from outside the house, because they're eating through the fucking bottom part of the siding, and they got into the floor joist. So they're trapped, right? They're literally trapped. They have nowhere to go. There's 16 inches on the center. This is typical floor joist.
Mm-hmm.
So they got like 16 inches to move around, but they can't go left, and they can't go right. They can only go straight, and they can only go back out. Well, so fucking horrible. They found my brother's hot water in his bathroom, because his bathroom's downstairs. He lives downstairs. The bathroom's downstairs, and they found, for some, I don't know how the fuck that he did it, the rat did it, but he ate through the line, a live line.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking spewing fucking gallons of water in the ceiling, the fucking ceiling. And I guess he said he walked in to check it out. And the whole
This is happening while Lyle's on his ride home. Like, I can't wait to just kick back at home and relax.
No, this is why I was still learning how to walk.
So yeah, God, it was going on
get
that
home
long.
And just learn how to walk again. Nothing else to worry about but relearning my basic
The
functions.
simple things of my basic punch.
Maybe get a burger in me, cripple my hand for a bit. I don't know.
Enjoy a running hot shower.
Lyle,
Or-
while we were, when you were there for I don't know, maybe the first 10 days or so, because we weren't getting updates, an occasional update from your sister, and Ron was the only one that really would get it, so he just kind of relayed it to us. But at one point, I was like, I hate to ask this, but is someone feeding Lyle's fish? Is he gonna come home to floaters? Like, oh yeah.
I'm missing 3. I don't know where they are.
Oh man.
But they were little guys. They only grow like, I guess, 1.5 inches. I didn't find that out until later. But,
Yeah.
And they were like basically fully grown, but they could have died. I asked him. I said, "Did you pull any floaters?" He goes, "No." I said, "Well, they probably just died, and the sucker fish ate them."
Yeah.
Low protein.
Yeah, could be.
That.
But
Sucker fish.
your sister did say that your brother was taking care of him. I was afraid to ask.
he was feeding him every other day.
Yeah, but that was one of my thoughts too. Is like, oh, it'll be a bummer if he comes home to a bunch of dead fish on top of everything else.
For real.
Oh man. Well, I hate to say it. I love Max. My Max is the best thing I ever had.
Yeah.
Dog. But I'm glad it kind of went its way, because there's no way I would have been able to take care of him for that long, or find someone to take care of him.
Yeah, that's a much bigger chore, I'm sure.
So it was a lot of relief off me that way.
So what exactly did you come home into?
Oh yeah.
And let's try to sum up here, because I'm hopeful to get you back on your oxygen as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's hard to breathe. But I could do it, as long as I don't stand up.
Yeah.
I'll just fall down.
Well, we're almost done.
So apparently, obviously it's running in the joist bay, of that bay
Yeah.
of hot water, and there's nothing stopping it. And it ended up tearing down the whole ceiling into his bathtub. And he found it after that. Found it. And they've
Trouble.
been, it's the next door neighbors are the same guy that owns this house, owns that building. And so they've been in touch with each other and trying to like air it out and get all the wetness out before they put the sheetrock up. It's just a big hassle. They're all fucking trying to take their time and milk the job. It's like, dude, you
Sure.
don't understand.
That's what they do.
The guy that owns this house owns your business. You piss that fucker off, and you're gonna be doing fucking your jobs off the fucking corner, dude. Get this job done. Quit fucking around. They would come in here and like fuck around for 6 hours and then leave, and they didn't ever do anything. In fact, I think the whole
Tiny
downstairs
little fishing pole in your tank.
Yeah, well, I think they got the line hooked back up, because they had to take up the road to turn the water off. So they had to do that to reattach the fucking rat bitten line, and then I think we got them all. My brother thought he got them all. I think they're coming in on the side part of my wall that ascends to my bathroom, but we completely sealed that off yesterday.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if they're in there, they're gonna die because they can't get out.
Yeah.
And there's no holes in and out that I could see. They got to be coming out of the outside, and he sealed that up with foam. So we should be good here in a couple of days. I dumped a bunch of rat poison down the hall and then fucking laughing plastered it.
Yeah.
Just sealed it up.
They won't suffer long.
So anyway, I can't go out of town without something happening.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you should be going anywhere anytime soon. Anywho,
I mean, I'm good on oxygen as long as it's not really going up the stairs too much.
yeah,
I can do one trip. That's what bothers me because I do got to go to the grocery shopping.
sure.
And maybe I don't know. Maybe I could talk my brother into going with me, and he could just kind of help carry up because I can only go up once. I can't go back, for the stuff. But I have to. They want me in a runabout.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like a little rascal, you mean?
Yeah, if I go to Safeway, they don't want me walking up and down the aisles.
Of course.
I don't blame them because I probably would pass out, and then we'd have a nightmare. They kind of let me out a little early, I think.
Mike's in the other lane getting Lucky Charms. He's like, God damn it,
dude.
Lyle! What you...
Hey, dude, you cat? Just wondering where you're at. You ever think about friendship trust falls? Come on. See if I catch you or not.
Mm-hmm. Someone else's turn.
No, I had my head twice. Because like when I initially fell, I fell backwards, smacked the back of my fucking head. And then I tried doing a sit-up to get up, and I fucking couldn't do it, and I just fucking ended up falling on the back of my head. Clunk.
Well, it's it is encapsulated as that is. It's still a pretty brutal tale, and like I said,
pneumonia.
oh man, I know it's fucking terrifying. It was all the worst. It was of everything that we were worried about the whole time.
The weird thing, the weirdest thing, the thing I was worried about the whole time was getting my COVID shot. Because I was scared to death I was going to get sick as fuck because every time I get a flu shot, I get sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Let's just fucking avoid all this bullshit. I don't ever want to be here again. Give me my shot when I leave.
I'm so glad you got it.
Got that. And then I got my flu shot.
Yeah.
So you should be
Well, it's a good time to get it. I mean, if you're going to have
the,
an immediate reaction, you're right there.
Well, I get the second boosters and shit like on the 21st, so it's not too long. I got the Pfizer too, so.
Yeah, but anyway, we should definitely get moving on. But there's one last little bit that I think is pretty key.
Strip? Oh my god!
Where even after all of that, you may have or came close to dying in dialysis.
It was a
after
trip.
You'd already gone home.
It. Yeah, I can't fucking explain it. It's such a trip. So, if you know what what they call those again? The go in your nose, the plastic tube.
I can't remember.
I just said what it
Yeah, you
was.
said it, but I don't think I recognized the name.
Yeah.
We're not talking about dialysis, are we?
Tubby
No.
Doobs, I think is what.
Tubby dubes. That'll
that's
work.
The street name.
So the tubey tubes that go up your nose to give you oxygen during dialysis, you have to wear a mask in there. Always you do. And so like when I feel like I was crashing, I'm assuming, my blood oxygen level's low. So what I did is I put the palm of my hand. You guys try this home. Put the palm of your hand underneath your nose to block it's cannula. To block off the cannula. So that way your nasals, are completely blocked off and all you're getting is oxygen, right? Well, your thumb and your finger are up at top, and I had it on my eyeballs. And I don't think I was pushing on my eyeballs. I didn't feel like I did anyways. I was just trying to trap the oxygen so I could breathe. And this is a fucking trip, man. I put my hand down, and I open my eyes, and it looks like out of nowhere. They're just tiny, growing into these 3 feet fucking. They look like snowflakes under a microscope. They're evolving and changing all at the same time. And then my entire eyesight was like that. All I was seeing it was these frost looking like snowflakes appearing out of nowhere, like 3 foot by 3 foot, big old fuckers, bigger than people. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I start blinking my eyes, trying to figure it out. And then all of a sudden it kind of went away. But like all the nurses, all the tables, all the people in the other chairs were all white except for this black little outline around everybody. And I was just shitting myself going, oh my God, where the fuck am I? And it was like that for a couple minutes. I didn't say anything because I couldn't talk. There's nobody I could talk to. I don't know who's who. And so it kind of went away gradually, and then they crashed me again. And that's where they just pulled me off. And I don't know where the fuck I went. I talked to the nurse about it today, and they said it could have been that I got too intoxified. It's when you get too much oxygen in your system, and it makes you go fucking loopy like that. Mm. But, I mean, it was like a full-on fucking acid trip where I was exiting. You know what I mean? Like, go to the light. It's there somewhere. Look around. Fuck. Or go for a window. That's what they say when you have a near body experience. It's like an old taboo thing. When the nurse, when you die and then people are there, they open up a window for your soul to leave. So the first thing you do is you go out of your body, and then you float around for a while, and the first thing you look for is the window.
Yeah, to go float out like fucking
super,
Casper.
It's super superstitious, but well, fucking who knows?
Yeah, why fuck around with it? Why not?
It was a trip.
What could have hurt?
Yeah, it was a trip. But,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, ever since I got home, I've been turning around for the better altogether. It's like every other day,
sure.
I get a little better. I could walk around the house. I could cook meals. I could, and carry them around. I could bathe myself.
Yesterday when we talked on the phone, that was the first time I'd heard your voice since you were in the hospital. We texted, but the first couple times we talked on the phone, you sounded out of it, and you had forgotten that we'd even talked about a couple of things.
I probably just repeated myself. So I have side effects of what happened. I have really bad shutter shakes. So that's what gets me from texting you guys. Mm-hmm. It's really hard for me because I'm double hitting everything. And it's part of COVID.
Yeah, that would be super frustrating.
And my joints are really fucking sore, but that's bedridden. That's from 3 weeks of being bedridden.
Sure.
So, and then what else? There's something else. Oh, I talk to myself. I talk to myself. I never talk to myself. I sit here and I basically talk to myself and give myself instructions how to do shit.
Interesting.
To make sure that I get shit done properly and in order. I'll talk to myself.
That's an interesting change.
Well, hopefully it'll go away. My brother's giving me shit about it. Like,
shut the
fuck
up. A second personality finally showed its head, Lyle.
No, I'm doing a podcast. Leave me alone.
I welcome it. I find it. That's why I never get lonely.
That was Rebecca.
Well, it's kind of I guess.
Patricia.
Well, it's being isolated.
One of the Alices.
I've been isolated for 3 years, and then once you put me in a hospital room, fucking isolated for 3 weeks, I'll snap, I guess, apparently.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm getting better every day. Like I said, I'm starting to sleep again. My sleep schedule's fucked as fuck, because of those nurses.
Yeah.
Dude, I woke up at 2 o'clock last night, and I just stayed up.
Yeah.
I turned the TV on. Well, I was watching Twitch TV. until 4:30. That's when I normally wake up.
Mm.
I was up at 2. Fucking watched a couple hours of that and got up.
I've got a
Showered.
suggestion for the next time you can't sleep. It's the only one of only couple things I got on my list to talk about, but I'll bring that
Well,
up in a bit.
it's hard sleeping with that mask. That mask is a bitch, and the cannules just dry out so bad. I don't know if you guys understand just how bad they dry out. I got saline nasal spray. I stole a bunch of it. I stole a bunch of shit from there.
Mm-hmm.
And you dump it in your nose every 4 hours to keep everything lubed up. But sometimes it doesn't matter. I'll start just bleeding out the nose because they put me back on that blood thinner.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
For your flutter, huh? Not
it's
AFib,
called
but
it's called well, Eliquis is what it's called. You don't want you don't want no head injuries when you're on that, because that's what happened to my dad, kind of ish. You pop a blood vessel in your fucking head and then you're fucking dead. So I gotta like be very careful on what I do. Like going downstairs, I fall down the stairs, I could really fuck myself up internally because it's a blood thinner. It'll make it bleed, and you can't coagulate it because you can't clot.
Yeah,
it's anti-clottogen thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different level of having to be careful. My brother's been on blood thinners since he was in his 20s. Yeah, done heart surgery, and minor things aren't so minor.
No. And that's what scares me too, is that I hit my head twice before everything happened. I don't know. Now I got these weird clicks forever, but my right hand's dead. This is the thing that pisses me off the most. My during dialysis, do the 12-day dialysis binge. What they did was, because I was kind of complaining my hand was cold. So, and then she's a sweet person. I know her really well. She's one of the techs I used to work where I go to. And she goes, well, try this. And she filled up a glove with hot water. And she's a sweetheart. I kind of like flirting with her. And she goes, I was holding on to it like I would a lady. You know what I mean? You're like you're holding hands. You go, oh, it feels like I'm holding somebody's hand.
You're like,
and
hint.
She made another one. And she did for a while. She's the one that crashed me out so bad that I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
But I probably like last year. And she was all like, had her hand on my forehead and just, eyeing me out and just like kind of comforting me. Just stick around. We'll get this done, that heat under that stress, it fucking killed a lot of nerves in my hand. I was trying to play the House of the Rising Sun the other night, and I couldn't hold on to my pick. It would fling the fuck out of my hand across the room.
Yeah.
Or the worst, which we all guitarists know, and playing on acoustic, drop down the hole. So I just reach for another pick and try again, and I would
never want to drop it down the hole. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing with picks. I got so tired of just not being able to find one and then dropping it in the hole. Well, since the 90s, I've been playing with my fingers.
Yeah.
So even strumming. I strum with my fingernails. Really? Yeah. Don't use a pick ever.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of okay with kind of leaning towards playing bass, because you just use your fingertips anyway.
Well, like I said on the phone, it's probably good rehab to get your muscles back up, because you got.
I'm hoping so.
It's impossible to really gauge, things right now. You're going to be healing for a while from all of this.
The thing is like, you could take a stethoscope, check my lungs, they'll sound fine. But the x-rays prove not.
Yeah.
The x-rays prove about a half-inch worth of gunk on my lungs. They did it when I first arrived. They did it when I got out of the ICU. There was no change, no difference. I was just getting better, but the infliction was still there.
The COVID pneumonia's different.
Well,
it's an odd thing.
They said I could be on oxygen for 2 months, 2 more weeks, 2 more months, and it could be permanent. It's just all how it goes and all how you can get it out of your lungs.
Yeah. I think the way that you're improving, you'll probably be off it sooner than later. But the main the main thing that I kept thinking, once you were actually home, your sister, at one point it was looking like I was gonna come pick you up. Maybe I was definitely on the list, and I was a little disappointed that I couldn't, but I was just glad that you were home, because it ended up being the next day. But once I found out that you were home, I was just like, Lyle needs to do some serious soul searching and find out what his apparently ever important intergalactic mission is on this planet, because of all the things that you have survived,
Highland.
there is some mission that you have yet to fulfill, some important Flash Gordon-esque savior of the universe type scenario, and it's fucking incredible how much you have withstood. And that's one of the things that so many people, I can't tell you how many people reached out, both through emails, listeners of the show, friends of mine that don't even know you, but they knew that,
Sure.
you were going through it, and they knew that the subsequential sadness and stress of other people knowing him going through it. They reach out. It's just like everybody you said the same thing. It's like, that is one tough motherfucker.
I don't give up. There's
like,
no
well,
giving up, man.
Clearly.
I'm trying to think of there's a quote. It's actually a quote from my family.
Monty Python.
Family cast.
I'm not dead yet.
Don't matter yet. Not dead yet. The I can't remember what it is. I could probably look it up, but I mean it just take too long. But it's scrolled on the bottom of my family crest, and what it means is never give up, or no, never lose hope.
Well,
and I think hope is the only thing that's actually got me through everything.
Oh,
and that's been that way all my life. You know what I mean? Through all the trials and tribulation shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had hope more than anything. Well, hope for it. If it if it works out, it works out. If it don't, but you keep that positive hope in front. Of negativity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me. Down to the bone.
It's fucking incredible and inspiring, and yeah, just super glad to hear you rambling away, just to hear that voice and telling this insane story. And again, I know that this is the abridged version, but and you're still going through it. You're still healing, but God, you just sound good, and you're getting better. And for the love of God, let's get that oxygen mask back on you for a bit here, because you're going to need to save up your energy for a championship round, no less, of weird trivia. But before we move on, if any of you all had anything to add to Lyle's story or any questions, I wanted to give you the chance.
No, man, I'm just really glad to have you back, buddy. It's good to hear your voice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, fucking congratulations for fighting through.
I think I'm pretty much over COVID. It's just the remnants of the damage it did. You know what I mean? Yeah. I still have weak fucking joints, and I still have trouble walking around. My ankles are really fucking brittle. You feel like they just want to give out.
It's the craziest fucking virus, man.
Well, past that, it's a day by day. I'm definitely getting better every day. I could get up faster. I could go, make my coffee. I could stand up in the shower without
good news.
So, and get back to life sooner or later, hopefully.
Fuck yeah, man. And there's life to get back to. Good Lord. Wasn't looking that way for a while.
Right.
That was February, huh? They can be a real bear. It was like almost the entire month of February that you were going through this. Anywho.
You know what the fuck thing was? The only thing I was really concerned about the whole time was paying my bills. I'm such a fucking tool.
Isn't that the best part of it? You have to deal with all that shit on top of it.
Well, it's just responsibilities. I've always taken responsibility. Like, I will pay my rent before I go buy food. You know what I mean? I will pay my bills before I will buy food.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy. So it's just like, take care of your priorities, and then, the rest will come, and, just live that way. It's a little easier. You don't have to do fucking like people trying to come after you for 5 months worth of rent. Stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. We've set up a very fucking stupid system. But it's the system we have for now. I've got a whole screen over here on the right. The whole Ukraine thing is so fucking nuts. But I've been pretty fucking glued to it. And I've got this feed that's like 9 different cameras across Ukraine, and a couple of them have audio. And every now and again, you'll just hear the air raid sirens, and it's just like, ugh.
I love how the population's fighting back.
Oh my God, it's the most amazing story. That's one of the reasons why I'm so glued to it. It's just, it's incredible. Anyway, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of that tonight, but I would like to talk more about that next week, maybe. I've got some interesting, or I've got some things that I'm curious how you guys feel about certain aspects of it, but of course, there's already some conspiracy theory shit that just popped up in my feed that I'm going to scroll right past for now. I might bring that up next week too. But one thing I did want to bring up, this is something that I accidentally happened upon. TikTok comes up all the time on this program for one reason or another, even though I don't think any of us really use it, right? Like,
I don't. In fact, I use Instagram, and then lately, because the Instagram short stories and the little, videos, they're kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So I went to YouTube, and YouTube's got YouTube Shorts, and they're actually they're getting better. They're getting better content on them. So.
Well, for some reason, I just had never really thought about TikTok Live, but somebody posted on my Facebook feed, like, holy shit, have you guys ever scrolled through TikTok Live? And I was like, no. And so I went to my TikTok and I did it, and it was maybe about an hour and a half later before I put my phone down.
Holy shit, like, what is it?
It's so stupid.
Like Instagram and like YouTube, it's like 15 minutes to 30 minutes of just video, people doing weird shit.
Well, it's live, but this is the live shit, and it's
the live shit.
It's live stream, and there has to be now. Of course, you're not allowed to do like nudity. You can use all the language you want, as long as I'm sure they would shut down any racism or any kind of bullying or anything like that. But in terms of like R-rated language or even a little bit of sexual language, seems like you can get away with it. But for the most part, you gotta be fairly PG. And yet, everything that I was seeing, now I only follow a few things on TikTok, and most of what I follow are my, the Radar Dames. I think I follow maybe like 20 people on TikTok. So 90% of what I follow is them, and maybe a couple other friends that popped up, and then maybe a couple of pinup models. My social media is mostly attractive women. And it always has been. It's like, well, I don't fucking care about what you guys are feeling. I don't care about what your politics or, your thoughts, or that you have a headache, all the
Just
things.
Show me them titties.
Show me them titties. But, most of it, like I said, it was like the Radar Dames. That's the only reason I can think of. But first of all, before I get going, do you guys all have TikTok on your phone?
No, I don't have it.
Never.
Nope.
None of you have it on your phone? Okay.
Nope.
Well, I was going to do a little experiment because I'm curious. There has to be some way that these videos are being sifted through by somebody. Otherwise, do you remember Chat Roulette? It was short-lived, but it was very exciting.
I remember.
That's one word for it. It was 9 out of 10 times was just some dude stroking it.
It was always dicks. But for those of you who don't remember, it was live streaming. I think it was shut down like a decade or more ago. It was fairly early on, in like the 4chan days of yore. But it was live streaming, and all it was is you got a webcam. This was before they came on board with the computers even. Got your webcam set up, and you logged in. And then you just hit go. And they would see you, and you would see them. Of course, I was a pussy chicken shit, so I would not hook up a webcam, and they would just see a black screen, and then they'd immediately go to the next one. And that's what you do. You see what you see, and if it's not something you like or somebody that you want to chat with, because there's audio too, then you hit next, and that's all it was. And yes, 90, I would wager 95% of what you saw was just some dude sitting back, usually face even in the frame.
Just casually
Sitting back, whacking it. They even made fun of this on South Park. And like, okay, you guys got to check this out. This is the coolest thing ever. It's like, okay, that's a dude whacking it. That's a dude whacking it. Oh, look at these girls, man. Oh, they went away. Oh, that's a dude whacking it. That's exactly what it was like. And then occasionally you get onto like a couple of teenage girls that are just like giggling like, oh, there's no one there. And then there'd be like some old dude talking about comics. And then back to 7 more dicks. Well, it's a similar thing with TikTok, except it's all like Hoochie Mama stuff without the Hoochie Mama stuff, if that makes sense.
You're talking like ass clapping and shit.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but but fully dressed ass clapping. Like,
Yeah, totally. That's how
um,
Instagram kind of turned to, and then I got sick of that and went to the YouTube's Shorts, which is just those the same thing as TikTok. It's limited time and
yeah.
just videos.
I don't think TikTok live stream is limited. If it is, well, it's probably limited, but I had it on the other day. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I had it on this one feed for at least 40 minutes the other day because it was fascinating, but it's not what you
Bet
think.
you did.
It's
Yeah,
not
well,
what
this is
you
a real
think.
problem. This TikTok live caters to the Ronsters voyeurism.
Yeah.
Well, it should have. Well, yeah, it
Mhm.
does actually to some degree, I suppose. But again, not like you may be thinking. But going back just a bit, so it was nothing but, you know, tits, and they're putting the tits in your face, and they're putting the ass in the face, and a lot of foot stuff, and a lot of ASMR stuff, and then occasionally, like I said, it'd be just like a dude talking about a book that he just read, or a couple of guys talking about sports, and you skip to the next one, and you just scroll through it until you see something intriguing. A
Kind of like
ton
a
of you
it's
say
kind of
that?
like a secondary, like kind of like podcast
A
soapbox,
lot
I
of
guess.
people are using it for podcasts. A lot of people are using it for just like live shows. I'm actually going. What's crazy is that I don't know how this works. I don't know what the algorithm is, but I feel like there must be people somewhere in TikTok, the business, going through these, and then they'll sift it out and they'll shove it into the algorithm that it makes sense. They weed out the people who are just jacking off. They ban those. TikTok seems to be pretty up on keeping that kind of thing off. I've never stumbled upon it like I have with literally every other social media. I haven't stumbled upon any nudity or any sex. But I don't
Have
use it a lot, so maybe people out there are laughing at me like it's all
have
over.
Have you ever been to ChatterBait?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like it's like a bad thing, but fuck, you go in there. I hate to even admit this, but like I was kind of like a little addicted to it for like 2 weeks.
Well,
I have
Chatterbait I think is neat.
two big old monitors, and I had probably about 12 fucking windows.
Oh man,
Spanking
12
multitasking.
windows?
Oh man.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
No, that's FOMO. That is FOMO.
Fear of masturbating. Yeah, I was heading
That
somewhere.
reminds me when you were a kid and you took all your magazines out in your bed.
Yep, lining them all up.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminded me of that. It's like, anyone that really wants to see more, I guess they could go to Chatterbait. But what I found, first of all, where I was going with this is they have to be sifted out somehow, and but because you'll see these people like just normal people doing absolutely nothing, and then all of a sudden they'll start freaking out. They're like, oh, wait a minute, why is there all of a sudden 300 people? Like, oh my God, there's 3,000 people. Why are there 20,000 people? And they freak out. I see that all the time. So I think what happens is someone decides that you might intrigue some other people, so they sift you through, and then it could blow the fuck up. So I'm gonna try doing some live stream painting. I've done that
You should.
on YouTube. I've done it on Facebook, and
But do it sexy,
you get who
Rob.
you
Do it
get.
sexy. You know what I mean? Put
But
on
sexy?
put on something cute.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true. I could
maybe.
put some pantyhose on. They don't have to see my face.
Kind of like Twitch, when you're streaming on Twitch, sometimes that algorithm will pick you up too. And even if you're a small streamer,
Yep.
like you're just getting on, they might see that and say, "Oh, fuck, that's fucking cool as shit." And what they
repost,
have is called the front page. And so like when you log in, they'll give you like 20 suggestions or 20 Twitch users that are
Yep.
doing really well, or they might not even have any views, but they're doing cool shit.
Yeah.
And so that's the
It's got to be a similar thing,
Sure, it's
because you'll see
something
people
like
just their minds blown, and it's like that could really get you a shit ton of followers like that.
Well, you got a shit ton of following on Facebook. If you did Facebook Live, it's the same fucking thing.
Well,
You
but
get a webcam, you get audio, and
I do. Well, that's what I've done a ton of that, and I rarely get more than like 30 or 40 people watching. But with this, it's like an instant hundreds. So I'm gonna look into it, see what happens. But anyway, so that's the premise. I was hoping you guys had it on your phone because I wanted to see if it was just who I follow. But I thought I'm gonna do a live experiment here and see what we get. You'll get a flavor of the taste, because flavor of the taste. You like that? One of the other things that this was speaking to me about was like it does sort of combine the you get what you get with chat roulette, but it's not I've never saw anybody whacking off, so that's nice. But you also mix it with a little bit of maybe to some degree like pirate radio, just people doing whatever the fuck they're doing, and you just happen to tune into it. Or you know what it's like is public access TV from the days of yore, where you would just be like, what the fuck, who is this, where they would have those shows where just anyone could have a show.
What was that old movie from the 80s? Wasn't it called Turn Up the Noise or something like that, with a guy running around?
Pump up the volume. Mm-hmm.
Was it Pump Up?
That's such a boomer way to say
Turn
that.
up the noise.
It's exactly the same title. It's not at all.
I might have had a stroke, so
that's one of my favorite movies. That's what made me get a pirate station in the first place. So
they have really good ones nowadays. At our age, like at this time, they got some really cool technology.
So here's a young, attractive weather person in the studio broadcasting live. So let's listen.
End of the show. Oh goodness, hello, you love watching me from Canada. Oh, that's awesome.
8,000 people watching.
Georgia, girl, do not dab. Nah, dabbing, I have to, because I went and I did axe throwing and my arms are
She dabbed. So moving on. Here's a girl with the boobies out. Again, not full boobie.
That's awesome.
500 people watching.
Yeah.
Are there any of these streams with unattractive people?
With unattractive? Well, I would say so. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
To me,
Nipples the size of food plates.
that's a tough question, because that's an interesting question, because I think I get what you might be going after, but I think that is such eye of the beholder thing that. But here's the other problem with all of the women. I'm sorry, this is not a focused presentation at all, so we're all over the map. But all these women are. You can guess, there's a live chat that goes around with it. And here is, how tall are you? When are you going to get some tattoos? You have a nice jawline. Flash your boobs for $5. Oh, hey, flash your boobs. She's not really mentioning them. Hello, beautiful. Can you do a 360? That's something I hear a lot of people saying. In other words, turn around for me. It's just a bunch of horny dudes.
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. That'd be so much better.
Moving on, here's a girl dancing in a trailer with short shorts. She's just dancing. Nelly getting hot in here is the first comment. Why don't you do a 360? Take them out for $5. Those are different dudes asking the same thing. There's another woman who's in a bathing suit. Let's see what she has to say. She's organizing clothes.
Can they get like a tip donation or something like that?
Yeah. And they make bank. This one girl I was watching the other night was talking about a book, but she was in a bikini. Perfect television, really. She made $1,000 in maybe the 8 minutes that I was watching.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of nothing. On Twitch,
Ron's saying dollar signs.
Yeah. Listen to this one. On Twitch, this girl, and she's fucking gorgeous, dude. She works out all the time on stream. That's pretty much her stream. But she's not doing that. She's in a bathtub in a bikini. Her name's Amaranth. And she has basically, it's not a GoFundMe. It's called, what is it? What do they call it? Where you have your own site and you go in and...
OnlyFans.
Yes, she has an OnlyFans. And it was estimated that she made over like $20,000 every like other day. It's fucking ridiculous.
I could
and then
easily see that with how this goes.
Well, during the stream that she's in for like maybe 6 hours, she probably makes another 10,000 of people resubbing and donating and stuff. She's just in a bathtub in her room or in her house.
That's what this girl's doing. Well, she's in a little pool.
Yeah, there was a girl in the news, and I kept dancing around putting it into News Quiz. It was just too fucking big. But I figured you'd all seen it. But did you hear about the girl that would fart in the jar and sell it?
Yeah, we talked about a couple of fart in the jar scenarios. Yeah.
But did you hear what happened to her?
No.
Yeah.
She got sick. She got a heart attack from her diet, and she ended up or something like that. And she ended up in the hospital because of the diet she was putting herself through to fucking turn out fart jars.
Crank out the farts.
Dude, I'll tell you a story real quick. This is a quick one too. Me and two other buddies. I guess it was four of us. Jason Flowers, he was in the back with me, and then it was Steve Slater and another guy in the passenger seat. And we're going up to get wood, for chopping for the season. It was towards the end of the season, October.
We're chopping.
Well, we're getting firewood for my buddy Steve because it's all he had to heat. And I've hooked him up ever since. I mean, he's got a full system in his house now because I put it in for him. But I was tired of seeing him being that old and trying to get wood.
We're all heading there.
Not that way, God damn it, he was completely erect. I'm just kidding. So anyway, Flowers had a Pringles jar, and he just leaned back in the back seat of this truck and he fucking farts in it, and he seals it. And he's just giggling. He's giggling like a little fucking schoolgirl. And I'm like, dude, come on, that's not going to work. And he goes, dude, you don't even fucking know. And we got up to the destination.
You ain't sampled my brand, boy.
Yeah, we're an hour and out from where we're going to go get wood. And when we stopped, he opened that fucker up and literally cleared the cab, man. It was disgusting, man.
It can absolutely work.
It was bad.
I've seen it work. I've tried it myself. Tried it home. Pringles can is a good call because it seems like it's like a shotgun when it comes out. It's like as opposed to a bucket or a big wide mouth jar. It's just boom, right at you, aimed and focused.
Yeah.
So what did she get sick with? And is she okay?
It sounded like Darth Vader.
Oh, did Chris go away? He's got the kid tonight.
Oh,
He might
yeah,
have had
I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It's kind of a confusing story, but essentially the word that was put out was that she was eating stuff to like he said, make her fart more,
Yeah,
and it
probably like
caused her to have some sort of issue.
Got to stay afloat in that industry.
Went to the hospital for her because she's probably having heart palpitations or something from, I don't know, improper nutrition or something.
Good Lord.
Or she was full of beans. You know what I mean?
What we won't do for money, but God, I don't fucking blame him. Look, if I had to choose between doing a job, and let's face it, most of us don't like what we do for a living. A lot of us do, but most of us don't. If I had to choose between doing that and, ramping up my diet of fibe in a way that's not necessarily healthy and farting in a jar for a living or any of this shit. And, that was part of my point was like, I'm not coming down on these girls for making a living doing this shit. I am coming down on the guys for being such fucking creeps. You can do this. You can do this without being so disrespectful. But holy shit, good for these girls for making so much fucking money. And then they'll do the thing like Lyle said. They'll be like, meet me over at my Instagram, or meet me over at my my OnlyFans. And that's where they're that's where they make the money. Mm-hmm. That's where them titties come out. And it's brilliant. It's like this tease. It could be like this 30-minute cock tease of watch me slowly pull my nylons off. But they gotta be careful.
I will tell you the most weird one that I've ever heard of was hot streamer girls selling their bathwater in jars to people.
That's what I was thinking.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's what I was confusing with the fart in a jar story. Was fart bathwater.
That's gross. So gross.
But to finish off the story, I mentioned that I left it on a feed for about 40 minutes the other night. This feed was a dude who was working at McDonald's, and he just set up a little camera on the counter, the main serve counter, not the one where you're taking the orders or handing the orders over, but the one that's in the back, right off of the grill. And I was fucking mesmerized watching. I never worked at McDonald's. I worked at Godfather, so I've been in that sort of fast food-ish sort of pace. Kitchen type scenario. But this was fascinating because McDonald's is a whole different level of every place has its shit. It's like, this is fast food, so it's not artisan anything, things are pre-measured and there's all these special tools, and it was just fucking fascinating. So I just left it, and hearing their interactions with the customers and then their interactions with themselves, and I was thoroughly, and he was making I guarantee you, he made more money in that 40 minutes that I was watching than he made in his McDonald's shift because other people were mesmerized. This is just a bunch of people sitting back watching someone work at McDonald's, and it's really strange. But
What a
it's
fucking world, man.
fascinating to watch.
What a fucking world.
If you search Twitch, you'll find like live illegal weed grows, or maybe they might be legal some. But those are
Live
the
illegal
fun ones.
weed
Chris, you need
grows.
to look into that because it's beautiful, dude. They got all like fucking blue lights on their weed. It's all purple.
Oh, nice. Like home
They
grows.
just got a webcam
apps.
on it. You can just check it, and you're like, "Fuck, dude, those are killer buds." They'd be like as big as your fucking arm, you know. You're like, "Wow, dude, how'd you do that?" You know.
Love
But
it.
it's just a webcam inside of a grow tent.
Well,
fun.
I have a little bit of homework for you guys if you want to.
A week
Down-
for humanity.
Download TikTok. This is the golden era, John Martin.
I'm not
Download
putting-
TikTok and hit
Not put this in my phone.
through.
It's got hidden shit in it. I don't trust it.
Oh, maybe it does. Well, I'm saying not just for you guys, but for people listening. If you have TikTok, hit that live button and just flip through a couple rounds, 10 or 15, maybe even 20. See what you see. And maybe that's just what's out there or if that's just what's being catered to me. I would love to know what other people are seeing and how this all works. Mostly I'm curious, but also I want to try my hand at putting on a live painting because, when I do my live paintings, I talk to whoever's watching basically the same way that I do the podcast. I tell a lot of the stories that we've shared on the podcast. I've talked about the history of TV dinners. Maybe I'll talk about some history concerning whatever the painting I'm working on is inspired by. That could steer some traffic back to the podcast. And
I'm honestly surprised you haven't done this like a year ago or 2 years
Well,
ago
I've
or
done it
something. 'Cause
on-
I've been thinking about this whole time. Like, why the fuck isn't Ron doing this shit? Like,
I've done it on every medium out
Well,
there
you're a busy
except
guy.
TikTok. I didn't even know it was a TikTok thing.
Paper and everything. It's kind of I got a bad news to tell you that I just realized I wasn't recording the backup, but I am now. But like,
Good to know.
straight I didn't. So.
I always record a backup too, but everything looks good so far. So
Cool.
You may have to tell your whole story again though if something happens.
Yeah.
One more thing before we move on. Did you guys see that the autopsy report for Bob Saget came back and it's like his entire back head was smashed in?
What?
well, no, it was
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
So
it's like he slipped in the tub or something,
Oh,
They said it was his headboard, perhaps.
or
Like that too.
How the
he
fuck-
he slipped and did something, and then
That's
like
awesome.
it was one of those things. What's a head injury, right? So it's like you're fucked in the head, and you're like you don't realize how bad it is. Like, oh, I just hit my head, and you're disoriented. And you're like, I'm just gonna go lay down, and then you die.
And yeah.
But one of the doctors that looked at the autopsy, a couple of them actually said this is a major blow. This is like something that we would see comparable to being hit in the head with a baseball bat.
yeah.
Lord.
And yet
Well,
everyone's saying there's no drugs or alcohol, there's no foul play, but there just seems to be something missing here. What the fuck happened
I
to
think
Bobby
he just-
Saget?
I think he just slipped and fell, man.
Well, the thing is, and I don't think Bob Saget would ever do this, but the first time I ever got stitches in my head, me and my little sister were jumping on our beds, and back then we had metal frame, headboard and footboard, and I was jumping on the bed, yeah, and fucking fell backwards, and I smacked my head on that metal fucking headboard, and I look, I put my hand on the back of my head, and I just looked, no blood, so it's like, all right, let's go again, and we're fucking jumping around, and I fucking fell back, and I fucking did it again. And this time, I went to feel, and it was wet, and it was blood. And I freaked out a little bit, just a little. And this is me, I want to say 5 years old, maybe 6. And I walk into the bathroom to the fucking sink, it had one of the old school, like, 3-way window, mirrored things. And I was in my PJs, like a onesie, and I was literally covered in blood. All down my onesie,
I feel like you told that story on the old podcast. I wonder if that was one of your 1, 2, 3s.
I probably
I remember
did.
hearing
My
that
sister,
story.
so my older sister, which I actually don't have any communication with her. I haven't talked to her in 15 years. Even being sick, she never reached out. And we're friends on Facebook now, but like whatever. She comes home and she sees me, and freaks the fuck out, just running and screaming and running around. She takes me over to the neighbors, and the neighbors have these old school fridges that, they lay flat. They're just open up. They're like a chest. And they had these, I guess you'd say that for me, I mean, they seemed huge, but they were probably like 3 foot by 3 foot little blocks of ice. And I stuck it on my head to kind of keep the swelling down until I could get to the hospital, until my parents got home. She was supposed to be babysitting me.
Mm-hmm.
She fucking skipped out, and then she came back and saw all this shit, because me and my sister were alone.
Where's that block of ice?
And so, the thing was, my older brother and my dad, they were going down to Shucks, and you know where I live. It's that far.
Mm-hmm.
They heard her scream. They said, that's what they said anyway, is that on the way back up, they were trying to get car parts, get the car started.
That's like half a mile away.
Yeah, I think it was more probably down by Top Foods or by where that church is.
Mm-hmm.
It makes
that makes
sense.
sense.
It makes sense. They're on their way home, and then they heard her scream, then ran back to the house. But yeah, I was fine. It was like 8 stitches in the back of my head, but I could see where, like, if you're, why would Bob Saget be jumping on his fucking bed and falling backwards?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm not crying conspiracy here. I'm just like, something's weird. But I have.
Imagine how hard you could hit your head on a bathtub or a toilet if you slipped and fell. Yeah. It would be, you could fucking do some serious damage, and it probably knocked him out enough to where it was like, when he came to, it's like, oh, this really hurts. I gotta lay down, and he just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be curious. You can tell by the bone fracturing of what it was, probably.
That seems like it, but
because the baseball bat tapers, same with the toilet seat tapers, back of, it all kind of tapers, so you can tell by the breaks of the bones of the skull.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. You'd be a close call anyway.
It's strange. Sad and strange. Well, did you guys have any news or anything you wanted to throw out before we take a quick recess and do some champion shit weird triv?
No.
All right, let's take a quick break. Lyle, hit that oxygen. I'm going to hit the toilet doily and try not to hit the back of my noggin, and we will get right to it. 2 and 2. That before we do Weird Triv, I have to give a little shout out because we had a few donors. I don't know if it was the last episode. I think it might have been the episode before where I was kind of I was talking about how that 1 week I couldn't afford to put the episode up. I think that resonated with people. I didn't mean for it to be a sob story. It was just a reminder that this thing does cost money, and they just really jacked up the prices too. It's a pain in the ass, but had a few people kick back into the Patreon, get that firing back up, and even a couple of just one-time donations that went well above and beyond. And I hope they don't mind me giving them a quick shout out because I didn't get permission, but Ben and Tyson especially gave above and beyond the Call of Duty by far. And Tyson gave a little bit of a, how does one say, not a stipulation, but an encouragement along with his donation of a, now I don't want to prep something and get you excited for something. I haven't done it yet, but he is very anxious, and that money was to help encourage me to do a full theme song for Christopher's Weird Triv segment. Now, I will tell you this. I have written it. I have I have it scheduled. I've got it all blocked out, and I'm pretty proud of it because it's going to be something that speaks to you. I have no doubt.
If you want, you could borrow my what is it? The therm. You know what I mean? The weird thing. Theremin.
No.
Oh no! Sit in my closet.
You got a theremin? I don't even have a theremin. I would definitely borrow that at some point. But for this,
sit in my closet.
This is something that'll be more exclusive to Christopher F. Hart's heart. But
I don't know what that means.
You will when you hear it. It'll be very clear when you hear it. But I just wanted to give that shout out, and I wanted to give that teaser. It's not here yet, but I am making I'm calling myself out for next week. If I miss this one, then shame on me. But this has been the craziest fucking month. It's basically a 2.5 week turnaround to get two 40-page magazines out on top of all my other doings. So it was there was nothing doing this time around.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, lordy.
Sure.
But next week things are slowed down a little bit, mellow out, and I think that you're going to be happy with the results. So thanks again for all of you who kicked in a a little bit of extra funds. And if you want to be one of those, you can do so on an ongoing basis at patreon.com/Tales from the Space Pod, or kick in a one-time amount at paypal.me/thecometmag. And without further adoings, championship round.
Indeed, and
Snuck
I
up.
kind of lost track of whose turn it is for prize duty. I think it's yours, Ronster. Not
feel
that
like I'm
matters,
so
really, I
behind.
guess.
It does. I promise it does. It's just, as I said, I can't. I had a full month to do 2 magazines, and it's like I blinked my eyes, and it was over.
What about a subscription to the Radar station, the Radar magazine? God, my brain's
That
fried too.
doesn't
I'm so sorry.
exist anymore. Yeah, that got to be too expensive. But I would definitely give out a subscription to the Comet Mag. I think
Sorry,
a lot of
that's
what's...
what I meant. That's again my
Oh,
brain.
I should have
Sorry,
assumed
it's been
that that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Because
I
that
was like reaching for the name. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the Comet Radar
One thing
Oranges,
you're so
whatever
proud
the
of
fuck
that you
do.
do that I contribute to.
That you're in
that I
every
pay
single
for.
week or month. It does speak to a lot of our audience. And yeah, we do publish sort of a condensed, or sometimes I pick and choose. So I guess you could call it a best of Weird Triv. I usually do 6 questions. But anywho, that's one prize I wouldn't mind doing, but I can also kick in some other things. I will get caught up. I know I've been saying that for a year now, maybe more, but
Sure.
Just bear with me. I got issues. Mostly memory, out of sight, out of mind. I cannot express how much of an out of sight, out of mind guy I am, especially since my car wreck. But anywho, with all of that said, I'm excited to just kick back. I'm going to light my cigar. And tell us how we're doing this.
Okay, championship round. So whoever wins this is going to get a prize from Ronster to be determined. Ronster, you are defending the honor of the one, the only, Miss Surgery Jeff, if you're nasty, Katie Surgery Jeff.
Oh, defending her honor.
Yeah.
Has it been attacked?
Perhaps. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Only on this show.
John Mark. Yeah, no kidding. John Mark, you're playing for our good friend Abby Holmes.
Nice.
All right.
That Abby Holmes.
And Lyle is playing for Russ McCaw. These are the 3
Let's
people
go,
that made it
Russ.
into the championship round this time. They're going to join others in the Championship Hall of Fame after this. And I think after this, we're going to go ahead and hit the reset button on and people that can get in. So make sure you're leaving those comments on Facebook. It's been really nice. I know, like Ron said, a lot of people checked in on Lyle, and it felt nice to know people cared. You know, it was nice. So, all right. We're going to start this championship round off with a listener-submitted question. So big thanks to the lovely TJ for emailing this one over to me. As always, you can send your wacky stories over to me at christopher.bizarre@gmail.com. So, Lyle, this one's going to be worth 2 points. Can I get a little sound clip of that?
What we're doing?
2 points.
No, the scatter shot. What it's the
2 points.
2 points. It didn't work. I got it off.
It worked
I couldn't tell.
brilliantly,
I couldn't
actually.
Coder? Is it the V coder? No.
I'm sorry.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I know. Yeah.
Scatter? Hello? Hello? That's not it either.
All right.
Oh,
well,
okay,
maybe
you
work on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us know when
Fix
it's ready.
this in post, Ron. Make it sound good.
Oh, God. Where's Bell Canyon?
Yeah.
Hello.
Interestingly,
Say the right way.
Lyle's been cooped up, y'all.
oh my God, this
He's
is funny.
back.
on Scatter.
It's such a glorious thing that
For
he's
some reason,
back.
Hey, up. Scatter's not working.
Oh,
my-
interesting.
Never mind.
Oh, there it is. Now we're back. Okay, give us a little. What was he supposed to say? I
2
forgot.
points.
Oh, 2
Our
points.
listener submitted.
2 points. Wow. 2
I
points.
nailed it the first try.
There it is. There it is.
I'm happy now. All right, let's see where we get.
The effects was turned.
How about you give? This will be a real thrill for TJ. I'm sure, but TJ is always submitting some stuff. How about you give TJ a little shout out? I don't know. 2 points for 2 point TJ.
2 point T.
That alone was worth it.
Point. Wow.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, there's your new
all right.
ringtone, TJ. Free of
Yeah.
charge. Okay.
Every time you get a text message, I love that for it just to go off. In the
Every
store,
single time. Uh-huh.
Good
And we
morning,
can
I
do that
don't care.
for $5 if you want to.
I'm telling you, man, there could be something to this. But all right. So what's this question? We got to get to.
Okay, and I do believe it's possible we've touched on this some years ago. So let's check back in your brain pan, see what you got back there on this one. But
Good luck.
Samuel Adams makes a special beer. They only make it every 2 years. It's called the Utopia Collection. We're in this 12th version of that, so I think it's the 24th year, 12th version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they put this out, it cost over $240 a bottle.
Holy shit.
Whoa, for Sam Adams?
Because and also one of these things is true about it. One of the main ingredients are bee carcasses.
Ooh, I could.
Bee? Like a bumblebee?
Like a bumblebee, like a honeybee carcass, actually.
Sweet and spicy. Sure.
Bee. It's illegal in 15 states.
How dare you not make the bee answer bee?
Well, what is?
I didn't want to.
Are you just saying it's just outlawed in some states?
Yep, it's illegal in 15 states. Is it C?
Oh.
It comes in perfectly square bottles.
Huh.
Square herring.
Interesting.
So fucking funny. I can't wait for you to hear the theme song.
Could you imagine? You
The
know
word
what
square appears.
about that would actually hurt a lot of drunk drivers because they'd put their square
Yeah,
bottle.
that's right. They couldn't put it in the cup holder.
God damn it!
That's awesome.
He's like,
Fucking
foiled.
square-ass bottle.
Foiled again.
Guess I'll stay sober.
I guess I just won't drink and drive. Thanks, Obama.
Okay.
When can we start saying thanks, Biden?
Yeah,
thanks,
well,
Biden.
that's just when he dies.
Go, Brandon. Right?
Come on.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I
that
fucking
dude
hate
gets
it.
older before your fucking eyes. Anyway.
Or is it D? It contains CBD.
Like
Mm-hmm.
CBD oil, like marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Well, CBD technically is just it's the anti-inflammatory agent. Really, it's not.
Of the
Should be
cannabis.
no there shouldn't be any cannabinoids.
Emphasis on shouldn't, huh?
We're all scientists here, so we talk like that.
So again, Sam Adams makes a special beer they release every 2 years. This time it's called the Utopia Collection, and this time it's its 12th version of it.
Okay.
$240 a bottle. One of the ingredients, and one of these things was true about it. One of the ingredients is bee carcasses. It's illegal in 15 states. Comes in a perfectly square bot or contains CBD.
Well,
Ron?
oh, you're going with Ron first. I thought you were going with me first. That's cool.
I'll just beat death 19 times. Yeah, you go ahead and start with Ron.
Well, I mean, if you listen back, you say Lyle. This is not.
Oh, interesting. I didn't catch that. Well, I'm confused about the illegal. See, I thought that the whole idea of it being illegal in 15 or whatever states implied that there
Because
was
it had bees in it.
pot in there. But then the bees was a separate answer and the pot was a separate answer. God help me. I'm trying. See, my problem is I Ronalize, which is it's like this thing where I tend to think, I overthink that you're specifically trying to fuck with me. But I know for a fact that our audience specifically tries to fuck with me. It pans out. If you look at the research, it pans out. And I feel like this might be a square. This is not a square in nature thing, mind you. But I'm going to go with square bottles.
God, yes.
None of this makes sense.
Yes.
None of this fits Utopia. Dead bees, I feel like would be quite controversial. Not PETA approved. Anyway, I'm gonna go with
PETA improved. You know what I'm saying?
IPETA. Yeah, I'm gonna go with squares because it's all a guess. So I may as well just live up to my niche.
Okay, John Mark.
I think I'm going to go with the illegal in 15 states.
All right, you are
Wouldn't-
going to go with B.
Wouldn't it be oddly disorienting to drink beer from a square bottle? Like that just
Yeah, I think it
like
would be.
I think there'd be some disconnect happening there that would kind of break your brain a little.
All right, Lyle.
So I'm going to go with what John Mark said, because it seemed to me that that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
hit that oxygen. That's
I
good
don't-
enough
yeah.
analyze for now.
yeah.
Because it seems to me
My
like,
brain.
you know what?
That seems correct.
Mm-hmm.
See, now Ron's the analyzer, and I'm just the guy that talks. Real quick with an answer.
Okay, question 2 involves a picture, which I know isn't very fun for an audio podcast. So I'm going to have the Ronster go ahead and describe what the photo looks like here.
Okay.
Coming
Where
over
am
into
I
Spacepod and Messenger.
Messenger
today, sir.
Oh, fuck.
Holy shit! Look at all the missed messages. It gives me stress right away.
Stressinger. Check that.
Stressinger.
No, I don't like checking my messages.
That's good. Inappropriate.
Hey, that's my first turd.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, don't spoil.
Yeah, we're looking at Lyle's.
Lyle.
Okay, this is a looks like a grown woman saying "ta-da" to a table-sized rectangular chunk of dark brown or black shiny matter. Yeah, it could be Lyle's
Dark matter.
2-week-old turd. But it's about the size of like a trunk, maybe the kind of trunk that you'd keep keepsakes in. That's a brilliant way. The kind of thing you'd keep keepsakes in. I just realized I'm talking to the side of my microphone, which probably makes me sound a little tinny. For
Okay, a
keepsakes.
Boston-based company recently broke a record when they produced this. The item that we're showing off in this photo is about 1,000 pounds. What are the contents of this big block? Is it A, 1,000-pound weed brownie?
Ooh.
Okay, I could see that.
Is it B,
Zooming on up. It's got the text.
nearly 10,000 broken records that were compacted into a single mass?
You know, that's abuse. You know, there's alcohol abuse.
Well, he did say broken.
And that's
Broken,
fucking-
yeah.
That's fucking abuse.
Recycle.
Mm-hmm.
Was it C, a chunk of preserved Brontosaurus crap?
Oh.
Or was it D, a piece of the Earth's core from the deepest drilling operation we have in the United States?
Tenant Square.
This is tough. I'm so snooping the background looking for clues. But there's nothing there's a DeWalt stereo, a microwave, what looks like a pizza proofing. This is the thing that's making me that's definitely a proofer sitting there. That's a food thing back there, and that's why I'm leaning toward the pot brownie, but it's so black. Now you guys tell me.
Oh, I've made.
Obviously, I'm not a pot guy. Are pot brownies darker? Are they blacker?
Well, they're just like brownies, but the thing is the oils can you saturate the weed into the oil, so it darkens up the oil, so it gives it a little bit of a darker finish. You know what I mean? I mean, Chris knows that I make badass fucking brownies.
Oh, yes. It got me hooked on
That's
pot
what-
brownies.
The
You just-
fuckedest I've ever seen a guy on marijuana was from
Oh,
brownies.
these ones fucking brutal. These ones fucks people up for days. Chris called me like up on a Monday or Tuesday. Said,
Like, bro, I'm driving to work
Dude,
stoned.
I'm
What
fucked
the
up.
fuck?
"I want to be easy on just eat
Yeah,
apple."
I got no time to be that fucking high that long, man. I'm gonna go pot brownie just because of my little snooping in the background, but I can't. It looks like a pizza proofer, but it doesn't look like pizza or bread stuff in there necessarily. This is tough. I don't.
Oh, he's talking about record stuff too.
The record thing. Yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with pot brownie.
Pot brownie.
And look at
Green.
her face.
Yeah, dude.
That's the face of this will get you
Ta-da!
high.
Yeah.
That's,
I licked the spoon. Ta-da!
dude, licking the spoon would fucking that'd get you proper.
Let me
fun.
tell you this: you never fucking lick the spoon because it's got the most potency in the
I
whole.
remember
Well, of
you did
course.
that
Of course.
when you made those
did do
brownies, Lyle.
I
got
did-
fucked up
I
and, like,
did
passed
fuck
out.
for like almost like 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay. John Mark.
I'm going with the compacted broken records.
Really?
It's
All right.
it's more that color, but I can't find anything that lets me believe that. I feel like that would be more flattened,
Well, no spoilers.
like square.
Compacted, Ron.
nature.
Compacted.
Compactor
Compacted.
over.
You ever seen something crunched up,
Yeah,
squeezed,
It'd
almost
be
that's what I'm
milk.
saying. It's usually it's
milked
like
into
even
one form?
even a
But
car.
you-
See, this thing has
just-
like mountains and valleys in the top. Even a
Heat,
car when it's
little heat
smashed.
applied to it.
Peaks and
Oh.
valleys, maybe? Huh?
Come
I'm
on.
appreciating the tone you guys are talking to me in right now. Really am. Go on, get him, boys. He's dumb and stuff.
Lyle,
She's doing stuff.
I'll get her.
100. So, Ron, in the background, that DeWalt's just a stereo. But if you noticed on the stereo, there's a microwave, and then you go to the left, and they're in a kitchen, literally
That's
straight
what
up
I'm saying.
kitchen.
That's
They
a
got
proofer.
Stacks of aluminum tracks, and so 100% it's weed. I guarantee it's a weed brownie.
I
Because-
worked at Godfather's Pizza, and one of the first jobs I had
That's
was mixing the dough, putting it in the pan.
Yeah.
You dock it with a little roller.
1,000 fucking pounds. That's half a ton, guys.
Dude,
Come on.
1,000 pounds.
Weed. That's a lot of brownie mix. It probably took
You scared, John Mark?
100 boxes of.
Fucking scared that much weed, Brett?
No, I'm just
That'd be a
just
pussy.
saying.
How many
like,
people would that get high?
Like,
Like
a state.
brownie of that
The whole
size
state.
I would get a
would
steak.
not have the. Anyways, I don't want to say too much. I'll say no more.
Okay.
Well,
This is
even if-
interesting because there's no question there are kitchen things in there. If it's records or dinosaur. Wait,
Or
was-
whatever.
Was one of them dinosaur poop?
yeah,
Sure was. Brontosaurus crap.
right in the kitchen. But if you took a 3-inch, like a sword, and a 3-inch, into it and went straight down, and you chopped that up, there'd probably be like 30 good-sized normal chunks of fucking brownies. Just get you fuck.
So you say that weighs half a ton. That
Oh, yes.
rectangle
Most
right
definitely.
there.
1,000 pounds.
You need weed to fill it.
Listen,
It's just
I'm
not baked
with Lyle
flat.
here because we all know how heavy a dense brownies can be dense, man.
They get very dense. And
One
the ones
pan of
that I
brownies,
get in a
that could
pan-
be 200 pounds.
I'm dying to get to the end of this so I can make you guys laugh. Okay.
I'm sure
well,
you,
let's move on. I've got all your answers for that one. We're gonna move on to 3. It's a five question championship round here.
Okay.
All right, this question's pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie, but fucking fascinating nonetheless. Question 3: A small town in India made the news because of a pretty bizarre story involving a wild monkey dispute with local dogs. So, like, lots of stray dogs, I would imagine. Anyways, let me just where to start with this. Okay, it started when a pack of dogs killed a wild baby monkey. And since that happened, scores of dogs in the city have wound up dead. We're talking about 300 dogs here. Not like a fucking.
Vengeance kills.
And it is. And witnesses claim that they've seen packs of monkeys swarming local dogs and killing them. Isn't that
Murder
crazy?
No, I
Like, they
wasn't
were-
thinking
they-
monkeys. I was thinking people upset about the
No.
monkey killing.
Actual monkeys are taking revenge on dogs for what had happened.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
fascinating.
wild? So
Monkeys are smart, man.
they
Look at
are
Bubbles.
smart.
Remember Bubbles?
Crazy.
Michael Jackson days.
Sure.
Good exam.
Thanks, yeah. Perfect.
Perfect exam.
Not exactly a monkey, but that's okay.
Not Coco, which is not either a monkey, but
Was he a chimp? Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, it
Coco
his
was a
bad
chimp.
monkey. Yeah.
But the
Bubbles.
question here,
Hey, Bubbles.
what I want.
That's funny.
they're smart as hell. Remember Bubbles?
It was Michael
Shit, let's drink.
Jackson.
Let's have a moment of silence for Bubs.
Oh, he went down.
Leave
long
him
time
be. He's doing his math.
Blanket.
I like your Jordan. Jordan, your Jackson.
Jordan. I
Fuck
believe I
off.
can fly. All right.
Okay, so the question here is, though, the majority of the killings have been done this way, which was fucking fascinating to me. So what's the most common way that these monkeys appear to be killing the dogs? Is it A, with sharp, pointy sticks?
Mm-hmm.
Is it B, by drowning them in local bodies of water?
Jesus.
Is it C, by dragging them up tall trees and dropping them to their death?
Interesting.
Saying it's quiet because my kid's slow. Or is
Yeah.
it D, by group strangulation?
They're just
One of
joking.
these things is the most common way that these 300 dogs have been killed.
Oh,
Is it
God.
A, with sharp, pointy sticks, by drowning them, dragging them up trees and dropping them, or by group strangulation?
God help them. God help us
Mhm.
if the
Yeah.
monkeys learn to start doing drownings. Boy, this is tough because I had just rewatched for the 1000th time 2001: A Space Odyssey. And in the beginning, they start in the beginning with a bunch of monkeys learning how to be smarter monkeys. And of course, they figure out that picking up a bone in this case and hitting something over the head can cause it to no longer be. I believe monkeys can do that. Monkeys, of course, can figure out how to do tools. The drowning thing terrifies me, but doesn't resonate. But the picking them up and dropping them is interesting because animals do that. Birds do that. They pick up animals that they can't carry for very long and then drop them. It's horrible. And then when they're dead, they buzzard them, basically. What was the last one?
The last one was by group strangulation.
Strangling. I'm going to go with A, strictly because Stanley Kubrick showed us the evolution of figuring out how to club something over the head. But,
20 sticks.
and a stick.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Wait.
Okay.
Let me think about this just for a second because sticks, you'd have to really beat a dog over the head a lot with the
No, you stab them.
I said pointy sticks.
pointy sticks. Yeah, and you even... Okay. I'm going to go with A. Yeah.
Sticking with the pointy stick. Okay. Pointy sticks. Put down for name. John Mark.
Oh, my God. If they...
I'm gonna go with the dropping from heights.
They're going to kill us all, these monkeys. They're going to figure out that we've been, for 100 years, we've been experimenting with them to see if makeup will be safe
You
for human
motherfuckers
consumption.
threw one of
That's
our
the
cousins up into space.
lucky ones. If they
By
figure out what we've been doing, Planet of the
We did
Apes for real,
the
y'all.
We used to do it in the 80s. Throw fucking
All of
monkeys
it?
in space.
Oh, we did. We've done everything.
See
We've
what they
done every
do.
bad thing.
Oh, man.
Okay, did I get
where,
Lyle?
where did you go, John Mark? Oh, you went with
The
dropping
trees,
them. Okay.
dropping from heights.
You know, for dropping from trees, I could see that. I could totally see that because they're functional animals. The way they move and they get the fuck out of there is usually they will find a tree and climb up and get the fuck out, swing off branches to get the hell away from predators and other things like that. The drowning part of that reminds me suspiciously of kangaroos. Even no matter what size you are, especially if you're like got a little kid, and a fucking kangaroo can get their hands on you, and there's water nearby, they will drown you. It's a fucking crazy and scary fucking thought. Because kangaroos are really fucking strong. They have huge legs.
Yeah, they're insane.
Of strength, and then they do have
Biceps.
fucking arms like a man. So they can grab you and they'll take you to the nearest water hole and drown your ass. That's a proven thing. You look it up. But I'm thinking the monkeys, and I can't tell, if I could see the monkeys, see what kind of generational.
Smell them, taste them.
I don't need to taste them. I don't need to smell them. I need to know the form of
Don't be silly,
structure
Chris.
in their face. But I can tell you that the smart ones, like Bubbles is a really smart monkey,
Yep.
right? I could see him busting a branch and then using it to stab a dog. What you guys got to understand what it takes to kill a dog.
Yeah.
Head injury, maybe. You're probably not going to fucking.
It's
do it.
not likely.
I full on punched a dog in the fucking
Yeah,
head.
I think we all haven't we all been attacked by a dog and we've tried to kick it
And-
or punch it or smack it
And
away.
it seems like that's out of the question. It seems like a monkey doesn't have enough strength to bash a dog's skull. The dog's skull is very firmly put into place. It's like it's not going to happen. What was the other two? The stabbing with the sticks. That would kill a dog.
And
If you can stab a
strangle.
dog in the stomach, I don't think so. No, you can't. I know, like, even my dog, I would walk him on a leash and he'd choke himself out, but still keep on going.
Yeah.
I can imagine a monkey, unless it was a group thing, they're like dog team in it. But I'm gonna go with the sharp stick.
Sharp stick. Okay.
Let's
Same
do this,
with
Russ.
Ron.
Come on.
We
Rusty.
will throw the dogs off from such great heights. Curious to see the answer to that one. Yikes.
Okay, question 4. I'm gonna send you another photo here, but this isn't necessary for the question. This is just more for your benefit
This is
here.
just my wiener.
It's just for you guys. All right.
Don't throw this, buddy, but here you go.
Question 4. Home Alone actor Devin Rattray, who
Right.
plays Buzz McAllister in Home Alone.
He's got like
Okay.
the 1950s buzz cut. Or,
He was the bully, right? Am I correct with that? He was like the bully.
Still not familiar with this movie enough.
All right. Okay. All right. Home Alone actor. He was like the bully big brother.
Looks like a bully.
Yeah, he does. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like a
This
young
is a guy
Biff.
that's made. This is a guy that's made some money off of like cons. He'll go and sign stuff at cons and stuff. So he was at a con with his girlfriend recently, and after the con, he goes home or to their motel or whatever, and he gets in this wild fight with her to the point where he assaults her and says he's gonna kill her. And she gets away. She calls the cops. Cops come and arrest him. Hold on, just a second again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Logan found the hammer tool.
Sorry, it's impossible. He's
You're fine.
past bedtime. So, all right. Okay, so he assaults her. The cops come, they arrest him. They find out the story, and they find out that this assault stemmed from this.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
Whoa. Whoa.
You still there, Chris?
You guys hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're back. You're back.
All right. Well, again, what did his girlfriend do that sent him into such a rage? Was it A? She couldn't remember the name of the movie he was in.
You remember that fucking movie?
Is it B? She admitted to him after 2 years of dating that she'd never actually seen Home Alone.
Oh, maybe. Boy, which one is more insulting? I guess that's the point of the question.
Is it C? She gave away 2 of his autographs to fans for free.
Instead of the usual $12.95.
$85.
Or is it D? She told him his breath stunk and asked him to take a Tic Tac.
Well, here, I am really intrigued by the first 2. I love the idea that he would be offended that she never saw it. What was the first one? There was 2 that would.
She couldn't remember.
Couldn't remember.
I'm going to say that B. I think that was B, that she never saw it.
Yep, she never saw it. Okay, I'll put you down for a B. John Mark?
It's tough.
These are all
Dumb.
all
dumb.
terrible reasons to beat a gal. None of them.
Fuck.
Nothing in there.
We were
that
hoping there was one answer that'd be like, oh yeah, that's why you beat a gal.
Well,
we didn't get there.
I don't know.
oddly
So it's
enough.
like if he kind of makes his living trying to sell swag and autographs at cons
You know he
based on
does.
this one film, then I could see him getting pissed about the autograph thing. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with A.
Couldn't remember the name.
No.
Okay.
Has the ring of stupidness to it.
Yes, Hollywood ego.
Lyle?
Okay, do you mind me telling you the family crest quote for our family? I looked it up. I've been looking all the whole time. It's "Dum spiro spero." I was gonna get a tattoo of it. I never did. But what it means was translated to is "While I breathe, I hope." And that's always
Wow,
been an
dude, you got to
yeah,
get
that's-
that fucking tattooed onto you now.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Post
so-
haste.
Maybe like fucking some old English across the
That's
forearm or something.
that's way more powerful than
It really
even the initial one you thought it was. Huh. Yeah.
I had to look it up, and it's there. You know what? I'm gonna
Amazing.
go with autographs because people are so fucking crazy about that shit. Look at the guy that fucking like supposedly killed his wife, baseball player. You know what I'm talking about?
I not off the top of my head.
Bronco?
No.
White Bronco in the 90s.
Oh, football player. That was OJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
football player. I can't remember his name off the top of my
We've
head
had
right.
a rough month.
O.J. Simpson. Yeah.
O.J. Simpson, man. He supposedly did what he did, got off.
There was no supposedly about it.
Well, I know. We're not talking about his
Prove it,
guilt.
John Mark. Prosecutor
but
couldn't.
as soon as he got out of jail, as soon as his shit was all taken care of, he went with 2 other guys and robbed this motherfucker for his old memorabilia.
That's right.
And then got caught and then went in for way more time than murdering his wife. Fucking
dumbass.
stupid. And he's a fucking celebrity. So I could see if that guy might have get a little, pissed off about the signatures. You don't know.
Well,
what
like
it
John
is.
Mark said,
It could have been a
this is
sign piece.
how these guys live, especially these smaller actors.
Yeah, but it could have been like something like a book or something that he was holding in the movie and it was signed. Something important, or maybe it was meant to be for the family, his family.
Interesting point.
And she could have stole it and gave it to somebody else. And that seems like more logical to me, that he would have fucking just kind of snapped and unwind enough to beat her. It takes a lot, I think, for any kind of man to beat her, unless you're a wife beater.
Shouldn't have gone with autograph.
It's a shit.
So you went with autograph, yeah?
Yeah, final answer.
Okay.
Great. Question 5. A 40-year-old man who was one of the Capitol rioters was sentenced this year and has been on house arrest since his conviction. He made an official request through his lawyer recently, though, to ask if the judge would consider to have his social media reinstated, as it had been revoked as part of his plea deal here. The official reason he requested access to his social media was that so he could hunt for a job and do this. This is in this official request. Was it A, so he could check in on his ex-girlfriends? Is it B, so he can continue selling Amway, as Facebook was his primary sales medium?
Amway.
Did we just talk about Amway recently?
I got fucking.
Is that
You
still a
remember
thing?
Vanessa? You remember Vanessa from high school? You dated her.
That was my first girlfriend.
As soon as I got out of as soon as we graduated, she called me up. She's like, "Hey, man, you want to come over to this thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So
Like,
she picked me up in that
spritzing
old
on the old
ranchero.
Calvin Klein.
Well, she had that, fucking really nice ranchero. It was all restored.
Yeah, it was a nice girl.
We went across from the Legion, the big hotel in there, and they were selling fucking Amway. She was trying to get me to join up. I'm like,
God.
this sucks. So I spent the day with her, but like for nothing. It was like she just wanted to fucking.
He's like, I'm here for Ramway, not Amway. No.
Yeah, Ramway. Okay. Anyway,
okay. Where was I here? Oh, B. So he can continue selling Amway. Got it. Okay. C. So he can post pictures of his cat. Or D. So he can find a date.
Okay.
And
So he
Capitol Riders. Yeah.
So he wanted leniency out of his sentence. Is that what you're saying? To be able to be active to do these things.
Mm-hmm. He had a social media ban. He's asked for his social media back so he can find a job and do one of these things. Monster.
Oh, well, social media is based around 2 things, and that's sex and cats. So I'm going to go with cats. Why not?
Okay. Put you down for C. John Mark?
I'm feeling the Amway.
I'm feeling in an Amway.
Okay. John Mark is going down for B. Lyle.
Oh, man. I want to say stalk his ex-girlfriends. There's some fucking weirdos out there for sure.
I'd be pretty
That's
bold
Well, I know,
to ask
like,
for
too.
some leniency so you can stalk your ex-girlfriend.
Let's go over the answer. See how you guys did here. Question 1. Sam Adams makes a special beer every 2 years. It's called Utopia. We're in the 12th version of it. It came out this year. Costs $240 per bottle and is illegal in 15 states. John Mark got that correct.
Fucking squares.
Lyle, did you go with that too?
The square? No, I went with
No.
illegal.
No, yeah, that's what I meant. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it was illegal in whatever state.
Perfect.
I was assuming it had like opium or something stupid in it, enough
Yeah,
to,
what is it?
I think it's as stupid as being too high alcohol content to classify as beer, so they don't.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. At 28%, it can't be sold in 15
28.
states. Yeah.
Holy
Dude,
shit.
that's worth $200. I'm like,
Yeah.
One beer is like
okay.
that's like a half rack of Coors.
yeah.
John Mark and Lyle got that correct for 2 points a pop, putting them on.
Hey,
to
baby.
an Lead looking good for
2
Russ and
points.
looking good for Abby. Katie surgery, Jeff. Let's see what happens here.
We may have to do surgery, Jeff.
A Boston-based company recently broke a record when they produced this, the photo of the large, square, brown thing. The item they were showing off was 1,000 pounds and actually was a giant weed brownie.
Nice. Do it. Well,
With
that's, I can tell
It
us.
doesn't make any sense, man. Like how can
Cook it
that
dense, John
volume
Mark.
of-
They cook it dense.
They do.
Yeah,
It
fucking
just
half a ton.
2,000 milligrams of THC, by the way.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that size
Standard
of a thing
serving is
could be-
10.
If it's actually a brownie that you could eat, could weigh a fucking 1,000 pounds. I just don't get it. Anyway, whatever.
Well, I can,
Whatever.
I
Well,
can
it's,
tell by,
it's
Because
a
it's made out
million
of fucking
brownies you
cement.
can eat.
well, by the picture, I could tell how the top was cooked. It's before you normally put like the frosting on top, the chocolate frosting or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, after
tell it's
you guys
baked.
were talking about it, I looked at it. I was like, yeah, it's probably is a brownie, but fucking 1,000 pounds, fucking get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed 1,000 if I had to do one of those contests, but
No. Well, I've cooked them in like 9x9s, 9x12s, and when they're done, you chop them up, and put them in a bag. They're pretty fucking heavy.
did Lyle go with that too, or did just me?
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
it was me.
No, I haven't caught up yet. Then looking tricky, Katie.
It's anybody's game.
This is the championship.
Okay. Where am I here? Question 3 was the question about the monkeys versus the dogs. And something that started as kind of a tragic story of a pack of dogs killing a baby monkey. It started a bit of a war between the two, and over 300 dogs have been killed by monkeys.
That's so fucking crazy.
It's crazy, right? And the majority of them, even crazier. Logan, please go brush your teeth right now. Flashlight.
Daddy's
We're
left
not-
eye is twitching. Brush
It's
your
all
teeth.
You?
Do what you need.
I will be up in a minute. Thank you. Go brush your teeth. All right. Turn the lights on. You're fine.
We're almost done, Logie Dog.
Okay. Strangely and sadly, the majority of these dogs have been killed by being drug up to the top of high surfaces and dropped to their death. Trees, buildings,
Makes
whatever they
sense.
can find. It's wild.
Yeah,
Absolutely wild.
that's the most. That's already being done in age. I should have gone with it.
John Mark took that one for a point.
Damn it. He's
So let's see. John Mark got the first one right for 2 points. Ron and Lyle got the second one right for a point a pop. So Lyle was at 3 points. John Mark. So you're tied right now.
Yeah.
John Mark and Lyle 3 points a pop. Ron stirred with just 1 point, but we still got a couple questions left here.
It's true. It's a 5
Question
point
But it's game.
Question 4: Home Alone actor Kevin Rattray, who played Buzz McAllister in Home Alone, recently got into trouble when he strangled and almost killed his girlfriend. He's a 44-year-old man. He was booked into the county jail, and what set Buzz into a rage was when she gave 2 of his autographs away for free.
Oh, dang it.
What do you think of that?
Lyle coming in with the point there on question 4, putting him in the lead. Lastly, question 5: A 40-year-old man who was one of the Capitol rioters was sentenced to this year and has been on house arrest since his conviction. He made an official request through his lawyer recently to ask the judge if he could have his social media reinstated as it had been revoked as part of his plea deal. The official reason he requested access to his social media was so he could find a job and get a date.
Oh, damn.
Oh. I don't think
Got
any of
that
us
right,
went
but
with
that means Lyle won, which means Russ McCaw is our big
Fucking
winner.
Is that
All
not
right.
fitting? Back with the vengeance.
Return of the
Sorry,
King.
Abby.
Return of the
Was that
King.
recorded, by the way, about the whole thing about Russ being kind of like my head kind of cheerleader?
Oh, that's
He's
true.
always-
Yeah, he's
yeah, he's
always
on
he's
my
always
face.
saying nice
And,
things, and
yeah, when
reached out
shit
to me,
happens. Shit going down, he's the first one to comment, so
Yeah.
fucking that's awesome. He won.
Chris, say what you need to say, and then go, and then I'll do a little outro, so you can just go take care of shit.
Awesome.
And,
All right, good job tonight, guys. Sorry, I got to bail. My kid's losing his mind. He's having a fucking tantrum. All right,
Have
bro.
a good night. And
Lyle,
thanks.
great to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, man. I'm good. To be back.
Congratulations. Bye-bye.
Another solid round, and yeah, fitting that the the winner was the winner of life in general. Well, that may not be the way he would sum it up, but he is
I'd
still
take
above ground, and that's not nothing at this point. So congratulations, Lyle, and congratulations, Russ. We will get something to you. Oh boy, within Year 0.7 at the most. I'm looking at the earlier side of that too. I'm feeling lucky. But thank you all for your comments, your questions. We'll get into a lot more feedback and a lot more stories next week. And it's good to be back. And thank you all for putting up with the little absence there. I know you all have understood.
Well, I'll tell you what. If cancer can't fucking take me out, I'm not gonna let COVID. So
That's true.
We're good. We're just need to heal up now, and we'll be fine.
Immortal words. Why don't you take us out one more time with your family crest, Lyle? I think that's a good motto for us all to take on the rest of the week.
As I breathe, I'll have hope.
Perfect. Now, why don't you do it one more time with a little bit of echo on it, a little delay. Maybe we can catch hope in an eternal...
As I breathe, I have hope. That's wrong. Fucking God damn it. Shit. God. I breathe. I hope.
There we go. We got
That's
that.
a good.
All right, guys. Well, it's good to be back, and we will talk next week.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
So
Monkeys are smart, man.
they
Look at
are
Bubbles.
smart.
Remember Bubbles?
Crazy.
Michael Jackson days.
Sure.
Good exam.
Thanks, yeah. Perfect.
Perfect exam.
Not exactly a monkey, but that's okay.